Hello friends, this is your friend back with a new fanfic. What if Kushina takes neglected Naruto away from Konoha? If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's start. Prologue. Everyone in Konoha knows the story of October 10th, the day the Kyuubi attacked Konoha. The story says that the fourth Hokage faced down and defeated the demon. That story is told to the kids. The adults know that the fourth had no choice but to seal it in a human host. The civilian adults and some of the ninja adults ignore this and believe the fourth trapped the Kyuubi in a human form, so the host is the demon. The remaining ninja adults know better. The host and the demon are two separate entities forced to share a body. Even less people, including the third Hokage, know that the boy is the son of the fourth. However, the story was still inaccurate. There were details kept from everyone. The true story is only known by Danzo, Orochimaru, Kabuto, and Orochimaru's new apprentice. Scene change. Kushina cries out in pain. Minato, I'm going to rip your head off for doing this to me. Push, Kushina, push, yells Bawako Sarutobi. I'm pushing, damn it. We're almost there. Hold the seal, Minato. I'm trying. Suddenly, the crying of an infant is heard. Bawako smiles. He's a healthy baby boy. She brings the infant over to Kushina, who looks at him lovingly. Naruto. I finally get to see you. Minato smiles at the scene, but the smile soon fades. Shit. The seal's breaking. I can't hold it. Get clear everyone. Beams of red energy are expelled from Kushina's body. They come together to form a giant fox with 9 flowing tails. Free at last. Now I can take my revenge against that pathetic village. The Kyuubi turns away and charges off in the direction of Konoha. Minato stumbles out of the ruins. Damn it. Kushina. Are you okay? I'm fine. Minato pushes aside some rubble and finds an injured Kushina. Gotta love Uzumaki vitality. Where's Naruto? Minato turns to the sound of crying. He uses the Rasengan to destroy more rubble and finds Bawako, who shielded Naruto from the Kyuubi's release. He checks her pulse. She's dead. Naruto's fine though. Kushina holds her arms out for Naruto. Give me my son. I can't do that. Kushina is surprised. Minato is denying her their son. Why not? The Kyuubi is going to destroy Konoha if I don't stop him. I'll just pull the Kyuubi back into my body. Doing this will destroy both him and me, but the threat will be gone forever. With the Kyuubi gone, we'll be at a major disadvantage to the others' villages. They all have Jinchuriki of their own. If they learn of our losing the Kyuubi, they will destroy us. I need to create a new Jinchuriki. Understanding dawns on Kushina. You plan to make our son the new host. You care about power more than our own son. The life of a Jinchuriki is one filled with hatred and misery. I should know. I won't let you condemn our son to a life of hell. You can't stop me, Kushina. Your body is too weak right now. All I can hope is that you will realize that in this world, power is all that matters. Besides, all I have to do is request that the villagers treat Naruto like a hero and they will obey. Forgive me, but I will do what is the right thing to do. Minato disappears in a yellow flash. Damn it, Minato. Have you been hiding this side of you from me? I thought you were a wonderful man, but you just showed me appearances can be deceiving. I've got to stop the sealing. Kushina struggles to get up, but someone knocks her out from behind. I can't let you interfere with the fourth Hokage creating my new weapon. Scene change. Minato appears next to Hiruzen Sarutobi. Minato, what happened? The Kyuubi is attacking. The seal failed. Bawako is dead and Kushina is injured. Get a medical team to her. As for the Kyuubi, I'm going to seal it inside Naruto. The result will include my death. Until Konoha can find a fifth Hokage, I ask you to retake the seat. Of course, Minato. I have one final request. I wish that Naruto is treated as a hero for being the prison of the demon and that he will also become a loyal Konoha ninja. I will see to it. Goodbye, Minato. Goodbye, Hiruzen. Minato flashes to the Kyuubi. Hiruzen turns away. Anbu. The fourth Hokage will not survive this night. Go retrieve his wife, Kushina, from the remains of their hideout. Yes sir. Scene change. Danzo and one of his root agents, who is holding the unconscious Kushina, arrive in a clearing, where a certain rogue shinobi stands, watching the Kyabiso on Konoha. What is it that you want, Danzo? The Kyuubi has attacked us. I know that. That's why I'm here. I want to see if he will succeed in destroying Konoha. He won't. The fourth is going to seal the demon into a human host. This woman is a threat to my plans for the host. I'm giving her to you. She can be one of your experiments or whatever. I just want her out of the way. Who is she? Kushina Uzumaki, the fourth's wife. Interesting. Very well, I'll take her off your hands. Thank you, Orochimaru. Now if you excuse me, I have to try to usurp the title of Hokage for myself. Danzo's root agent gives the unconscious Kushina to Orochimaru, then both he and Danzo depart. Orochimaru smiles. Kushina Uzumaki, I think I have better plans for you than using you in an experiment. Scene change. Sir, we couldn't find Kushina anywhere in the hideout. Hiruzen is surprised. What? Why would she abandon her son? Search the surrounding area. What about the Kyuubi? The fourth has that under control. Start searching. Yes, sir. The Anbu head off. Hiruzen stares off in the direction they went. Where are you, Kushina? Please still be alive. Scene change. Kushina groans and opens her eyes. Where am I? Welcome to one of my hideouts, Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina turns to see a face everyone in Konoha knows well. Orochimaru. Why did you kidnap me? I didn't kidnap you, Kushina. Huh. Like I'd believe that. Believe it or not, people of Konoha gave you to me. What? That's ridiculous. It's true. They said that you would interfere in their plans for using the new Kyuubi host as a weapon to increase their power. Kushina starts to answer back to him, but stops. She remembers what Minato said to her. It's true. They're going to turn my son into a weapon. Your son. The boy I gave birth to not too long ago. The fourth used your son. Interesting. Orochimaru grins. This is perfect. This could be the motivation that will get her to see things my way. Oh, my god. Naruto. I've got to get back and get him. It's too late. The sealing is complete. Besides, they won't let you back in Konoha. Why not? You're a threat to their plans. They would sooner destroy you. But, my son, don't worry. I have a spy in Konoha. He will keep an eye on Naruto. What are you going to do with me? Am I going to be one of your experiments? On the contrary, I have bigger plans for you. Such as, I'm sick, Kushina. It's an illness that will eventually claim my life. There is no cure. What does that have to do with me? I've been trying to find a way to escape my sickness, but all my attempts have failed. I want to pass on my knowledge to someone. I want a successor. Me. Yes, you Kushina. You have great potential. Kushina is skeptical. Why not your former apprentice, Anko? She could have been your successor, but you abandoned her. Actually, I didn't abandon her. She left willingly. Then why did you erase her memories? Orochimaru shrugs. To see if she would develop enough hatred to use her curse mark. Suffice it to say, she hasn't. Why should I take your offer? I plan on building a new village. A village for people with great and unique potential. When I die, you will become their new leader. You'll have access to all my resources and research materials. Also, I will teach you all my abilities and techniques. Kushina is hesitant. I don't know. Consider this as well. You'll have the resources and power you need to get your son back. Kushina is silent. I'll give you time to think about my offer. I hope you make the right decision. Orochimaru leaves the room. Kushina just sits there, thinking. Chapter 1. 12 years later. Naruto sighs to himself. Yesterday, he and his so-called team defeated Zabuza and his apprentice, Haku, on Tezuna's half-finished bridge. Nami no Kuni now considers him a hero, despite Kakashi and Sakura's attempts at making everyone believe that Sasuke defeated both ninja. He shakes his head. I'll never understand why all of Konoha thinks Sasuke is a god, especially those two. It was true, he was praised for every little thing he did. He had the biggest group of fangirls, as well as fanboys. That thought made Naruto shudder. Personally, I think he's gay. I mean, I've seen him running from his fangirls, but never from his fanboys. He shudders again as he stands up. He heads downstairs and ignores the glares he receives from Kakashi and Sakura. Good morning, Naruto. How are you this morning? I'm doing fine, Tsunami. Thanks for asking. Anyway, I'm heading out. Where are you going, Naruto? Naruto glares at Kakashi. He easily hears Kakashi's hateful tone. He knows that Kakashi thinks he is the Kyuubi, just like the rest of Konoha. Sakura just follows the crowd, even though she doesn't know about the Kyuubi. I'm going take a walk around town and get some fresh air. That's not a problem, is it? Kakashi settles with glaring at Naruto. That's what I thought. Tsunami sighs as she watches Naruto leave. She may be a civilian, but even she could tell that Naruto's teammates hate him and he hates them back. She could also tell that while Naruto may seem to be a normally happy guy, he is far from happy. She only wishes that she knew why. She remembers when she first saw the signs of Naruto's suffering. You don't know what it's like to suffer. Tsunami resisted the urge to smack her forehead. Inari just had to open his big mouth, didn't he? She thought to herself. She waited for the ninja to lecture him or shout back at him, but she didn't expect what actually happened. Laughter. The laughter was coming from Naruto. That's a good one. I don't know what it's like to suffer. That's really funny. It's not funny. It's the truth. Naruto opened his eyes and looked at Inari. Inari stepped back in fear and both Tazuna and Tsunami was shocked. Naruto's eyes looked dead. They were the eyes of someone who had been through hell. The other three ninja didn't notice his eyes. Trust me, kid. There are people who have suffered far more than you have. Yeah. Sasuke-kun's family was killed. Naruto rolled his eyes. Taking into account what Sakura just said, I'll rephrase myself. Trust me, kid. There are people who have suffered far more than Sasuke has. Don't make up stuff, Naruto baka. No one has suffered more than poor Sasuke-kun. Naruto shook his head. Whatever you say, Sakura. But the family of three could tell he was telling the truth. Tsunami sighs again. I wish I could do something to help him. Scene change. Naruto is glad to be able to walk in the streets without people glaring at him or trying to hurt or kill him. It's a good thing that Sasuke got injured during the fight, or we would probably have gone back by now. I want to avoid going back to that hellhole as long as possible. At least you have me to talk to. You're not one to have a conversation with, Kyuubi. One of these days, you'll realize that in this world, power is all that matters and you'll be begging me to let you use my power. I told you before that I don't care about your damn power. You know, you remind me of my previous host. She was just as against using my power as you are. This is a surprise to Naruto. The Kyuubi never spoke of previous hosts. Then again, he never had a real conversation with the Kyuubi before. Previous host. Yes, her name was Kushina. She was a fiery woman. She was someone you never wanted to piss off. Trust me on that. Naruto shivers at the thought. Now that I think about it, you two were very similar. If I didn't know any better I would swear she was the Kyuubi comes to a realization. Kyuubi, what's wrong? What was your last name? It's Uzumaki. Why do you ask? The Kyuubi hesitates before coming to a decision. Never mind. It doesn't matter anyway. Okay. Naruto continues his walk. She would have to be dead, anyway. I did break out of her body after all. No former host of any of the tailed beasts has ever survived the separation process. As Naruto continues his walk, he fails to notice a cloaked woman, sitting at a table and staring at him. He really grown up. He's got my face, but his bastard of a father's eyes and hair. Though, I'm sure we can fix that later. But he has gotten really handsome. The woman smiles as she stands up. Her dark blue eyes, partially obscured by red hair, turn yellow and become serpent-like. Soon, Naruto. Soon we will be together again. And no one will take you away from me ever again. The woman takes one last look at Naruto, before she turns away and walks off. Chapter 2. 2 weeks later. The third Hokage is sitting in his office, going over the Chunin exam applicants. Let's see here. Teams 7 to 11 are all participating. Mentioning Team 7 in his thoughts has him take a moment to think about one ninja in particular. Naruto, it's amazing how far you've come. Despite this village's treatment of you, you've become strong. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if Kushina had survived. What would have happened if you had a mother in your life, Naruto? He glances over to a picture of Minato, on the wall. You would be ashamed of how they treated your son. He turns his attention back to the applicants. Let's see. We have 1 team from Iwa, 2 from Kumo, 3 from Kusa, 1 from Suna, and 1 from this new mystery village, Oto. I can't help but feel that something is off about Oto. I would have thought that Orochimaru was behind this village's appearance, but all the reports state that the Otokage is female. I'll have to keep an eye on the team from Oto. As he sits back in his chair, he can't help but have one final thought. Something tells me this is going to be one exam that no one will ever forget. Scene change. Naruto sits down on a bench, exhausted. Since Kakashi focuses on Sasuke and Sakura, he trains off by himself. Damn that, Kakashi. He purposely excludes me from training cause he doesn't want me to get strong. After all, we can't have the demon boy becoming too powerful. He sighs to himself as he drinks from the bottle of water in his hand. Mind if I join you? Naruto looks up to see a mystery woman looking at him. Not at all. The woman sits down next to him. You look like something's on your mind, Naruto. He looks at her in surprise. How did you know my name, miss? Oh sorry, I'm the sensei of the team from Oto. Never heard of it. Well, it was recently formed. As for how I knew your name, well, everyone in Oto knows about you. This surprises Naruto. How is that possible? We've always had an eye on you. Yes, we know about the you-know-what, but we don't care about that. 1. How do you know about him? 2. If it's not about him, then why is Oto so interested in me? Well, all the major villages have their own Jinchuriki. All it takes is a little digging around to get the names. As for your second question, Oto is a village for people with unique and great potential. We see that potential in you, Naruto. We want to help you explore it. Hell, you caught the attention of the Otokage herself. How did I do that? She smiles at him strangely. You'll learn how soon enough. So, let me get all of this straight. The Otokage wants me to join her village, right? Pretty much. No offense, but I'm already a ninja of Konoha. Doesn't Konoha treat you like shit? Well, yes, but then why to remain loyal to a village that doesn't want you? Naruto starts to answer, but stops. Let me tell you another secret. As far as you know, no one in this village knows who your parents are, right? Right. It's a lie. What? The Hokage and a few others know who your parents are. They've taken every step to make sure that you never know. Naruto sits back, shocked. Why? The truth is some people in this village want to use you as a weapon. Think about it, Jinchuriki can harness the power of their tailed beast. With that power, they can destroy their village's enemies. They want to turn you into their little, loyal puppet. How do I know you're not trying to do the same thing? Well, the Otokage was a former Jinchuriki, and she swore that she would never treat a Jinchuriki like a weapon. This gets a reaction out of not only Naruto, but the Kyuubi. Naruto, I need you to ask her how that's possible. Because as far as I know, no host has ever survived the separation. Naruto relays the question. Well, she comes from a special clan. This clan was gifted with an extraordinary amount of vitality. Enough vitality to survive the extraction process. Naruto and the Kyuubi both ponder. Anyway, I have to go, Naruto. But before I go, I'll tell you one final secret. She leans over to whisper in his ear. I'm the Otokage. Naruto stares at her wide-eyed. I'll see you around, Naruto. Think about my offer. A place where you can be yourself, without prejudice. One thing, though, I will be testing you during the exams. Testing to see how powerful you've become. Goodbye, Naruto. I hope we meet again. The Otokage walks away, leaving Naruto to think about everything he just learned. I have to admit, there's something familiar about her. Be careful of her, Naruto. You think you've crossed paths with her before? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to think on it. In the meantime, be careful. I will. But I do know this. She wasn't lying about the things she said. A trick I picked up on the streets is how to tell when a person is lying or not. She was telling the truth the entire time. Scene change. After leaving Naruto, Kushina turns a corner into an alleyway. She senses someone walking up to her. Well, Kabuto. Everything is ready, Kushina-sama. Excellent. How was your reunion with Naruto? She sighs. I haven't told him who I really am yet. It's hard. I just want to pull him into my arms and never let go. And you will, Kushina-sama. By the time this exam is over, Konoha's people will have paid for what they have done and you will have Naruto back, forever. An evil smile spreads across Kushina's face. Yes, forever. Chapter 3. Naruto sighs to himself as he walks with his team into the academy. The Otokage's words have been ringing in his head ever since he met her. Could she be right? Has the old man been lying to me all this time? I gave up on asking him about my parents before I learned how to spot lies. I'll have to ask him about them later, to be sure. What room are we supposed to go to? asks Sakura. Room 301. It's located on the 3rd floor, replies Naruto. The trio walk up the stairs to the 2nd floor where they notice a large group of ninja outside a door marked 301. Naruto, you baka. The room is here, not on the 3rd floor. Naruto shakes his head. You mean you can't spot that there's a genjutsu on the door? Sakura stares wide-eyed at him. Sasuke steps forward to address the two guards. Drop the genjutsu. This is the 2nd floor. Room 301 is on the 3rd floor. The genjutsu is dropped to reveal the room is 201. Sasuke, you idiot. That was there to weed out the weaklings. You just increased the number of teams against us. It doesn't matter. None of them can stand up to the power of an Uchiha. Yeah, we don't have to worry with Sasuke-kun here. So shut up, baka. Naruto slaps his forehead. I'm surrounded by idiots. And they call me the dead last. Walking up the next staircase, they arrive at the real room 301, where Kakashi is waiting. I just came to wish you luck. The exams can be really rough. Naruto stares at Kakashi. Oh, don't worry, Kakashi-sensei. We'll be fine. The trio walk into the room. Kakashi stares after them. I hope you die in these exams, you demon brat. Then Minato-sensei will be avenged. Scene change. Inside the room, Team 7 meets up with Teams 8 and 10. I didn't think you guys would make it. With the dead last on your team and all. Naruto sighs. Appearances can be deceiving, Kiba. I would watch it, or you'll find yourself in a hospital bed, or worse. Like you could do anything to me. You're a nobody and I'm from the Inuzuka clan. You have no chance. Being in a clan doesn't mean you're all powerful. Kiba would have responded to Naruto, but they are interrupted by a silver-haired boy with glasses. You guys should keep your voices down. Naruto grins. Kabuto. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, Naruto. How have you been? Oh, you know how it is. Kiba speaks up. You two know each other. Yes, Kabuto and I go way back. Let's just say, he's saved me from a few tight spots in the past. Kabuto nods. Anyway, as I was saying before, you guys should be careful. Kiba looks at him. Why? Look around. It was then that the three teams noticed all the other teams staring at them, sending ki at them. Most of them are affected, except for Shikamaru and Naruto. Ignoring the people with the pathetic ki, you're here for the Chunin exams, Kabuto. Yes, my teammates are over there. Sakura asks, have you taken these exams before? Yes, I've been through this 7 times. Kiba starts laughing. 7 times. No wonder you're friends with the dead last. Naruto rolls his eyes. Ignore him, he's got a very big ego. As I was saying, being through this system multiple times lets me get a hold of information on the other participants in these exams. This gets Sasuke's attention. Really? Give me information on Gaara of Suna and Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha. This confuses the others. Sasuke wants info on the dead last. Let's see, Gaara. One of the kids of the Case Cage. 40D rank missions, 16C rank, 5B rank, and 3A rank. This is odd, he's returned from every mission without a single scratch on him. This freaks everyone out. Now for Naruto. His parents are listed as classified. That's weird. 20D rank missions, 0C rank, 1B rank, and 2A rank. This confuses Sakura. What? But we never did any B ranks and only 1A rank. Where are those 2 missions coming from? Naruto speaks up. Well, let's just say the B rank involves Mizuki and the A rank involves a former smuggling operation in Konoha. I would get into details, but the exam will start soon. Besides, Naruto's focus is on something else, Kabuto said. My parents are listed as classified. That would mean that whoever classified them knows who they are. Could the Otokage have been right? Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Naruto looks up to see that another team has approached him. They were wearing headbands with a music note on them. Let me guess, you're the team from Oto. Pretty much. I'm Dosu. These are my teammates Zaku and Kin. I met your sensei a couple days ago. Nice lady. She's like a mother to us. She saved us from the lives we had before. Kin mumbles to herself. If only she weren't so sad. Naruto hears her anyway. What do you mean? Well, she does have an actual child. A son that she gave birth to 12 years ago. But, her son was taken from her and she was sold off by her village while she was unconscious. She swore that one day she would reunite with her son. Sakura and Ino both have tears in their eyes. That is so sad. What kind of people who separate a mother from her child? Naruto answers the question. People who deserve to die. This surprises the Konoha teams, seeing a darker side of Naruto. Being an orphan, if there's one thing I hate, it's when children are forcibly separated from their families. I would never wish the life of an orphan on anyone, for it's a horrible life. Trust me on that. The others stare in awe at Naruto, but the mood is killed when the proctors arrive. Alright maggots. Take your seats and shut up. I am Ibiki Morino, your first proctor. Everyone quickly scrambles into their seats. Here's how this exam will work. You have a paper in front of you with 9 questions. You will answer these questions. You will start with 10 points. Every time you are caught cheating, you will lose 2 points. So, if you're caught 5 times, you and your team are out. Also, no attacking any other exam participants. If you do, you and your team will automatically fail. You'll have an hour to answer the questions. Ready? Begin. Naruto takes a look at the questions. Okay, there's no way any genin would be able to answer these questions on their own. Obviously, we have to cheat without getting caught. He looks around the room. Let's see, something is off about the guy in front of me. Wait a minute, I've seen him around before. He's a chunin already. Must be a plant for people to cheat off of. Now, how am I going to cheat? I've got it. Naruto secretly summons a shadow clone, that immediately transforms into a fly. The fly lands on the desk of the chunin and studies his answers. Upon dispelling, Naruto copies down the answers and pulls out a deck of cards. Ibiki notices Naruto. Genin Uzumaki. You should be working on the exam, not playing cards. I'm already done. Within 10 minutes. Yep. Ibiki sighs. Fine, enjoy your card game. Wanna join me? Why not? Ibiki pulls up a chair and he and Naruto begin playing card games. 50 minutes later, everyone else is done. Time's up. Okay, now there is a 10th question. However, you have a choice. You can walk out that door and out of these exams, taking your teammates with you and be able to take the exams again sometime in the future, or stick around to answer the 10th question. However, if you or one of your teammates answers the question wrong, your whole team fails and can never take these exams again. This results in an uproar in the genin. You can't do that. That's not fair. Silence. I'm in charge here and it's my rules. Now, does anyone want to drop out? People began to drop out left and right. Until only those who want to take the question are left. No one else wants to drop out. Very well, all those of you who are still here pass. This confuses everyone. What? Let me explain. The first 9 questions were designed to see how good your information gathering skills are. To see if you could gather information without being caught. There was actually a team of chunin within your group. The 3 chunin, including the guy in front of Naruto, stand up and walk over to where Ibiki is. As for the 10th question, it was to see if you have the courage to face a possibly no-win situation. You can't choose all your missions. You'll be ordered on some of them by the Hokage without a choice. If you don't have the courage to face each of your missions, then you don't deserve to be chunin. He would have continued with his speech, but someone crashes through the window. A banner unfolds to reveal the words, "Newly arrived Second Chief Examiner Mitarashi Anko." None of you should be celebrating yet. I'm the second proctor, Anko Mitarashi. Now, follow me. Everyone just stares at her. Ibiki steps out from behind the banner. Bad timing. Anko's sweat drops, then looks around the room. 78. You passed 26 teams. You're getting soft. Ibiki chuckles. We just have an exceptional bunch this year. No matter, I'll eliminate over half of them by the time the next exam is over. Now then, all of you follow me to the next exam round. The examinees get up and follow Anko out the door. Ibiki goes around to collect the papers. What do ya know? That Naruto kid actually answered all the questions right. I wonder how he did it. He's just as unpredictable as his mother. Rest in peace, Kushina. Scene change. The examinees arrive at a fenced forest. The fence is covered with signs that say, "Danger. Stay out." Anko grins at the examinees. Welcome to the stage for the second exam, Practice Arena 44, also known as the Forest of Death. Chapter 4. Anko observes the examinees' reactions to the name of the forest. You'll soon find out why it's called the Forest of Death. Naruto smirks as he knows what's in the forest. Now, before we start the second test, there's something I need to pass out. Enko pulls out some papers. You must sign these agreement forms. There will be deaths in this one, and if I don't have you sign this, it will all be my responsibility. Everyone except Naruto, Kabuto's team, and Akusa team are shocked by the mention of deaths. I'm going to explain the second test, then you can sign it afterwards. Then each team will check in at that booth behind me. Now, in this test you will attempt the ultimate survival test. Around practice arena 44 or 44 locked gates. There's the forest, a river, and a tower inside. The tower is located at the center of the forest. From the gates to the tower is about 10 kilometers. During the survival test, you will have to complete a certain task. Using your weapons and jutsu you will compete in a no-rules scroll battle. Enko pulls out 2 scrolls. You will fight over these 2 scrolls, the Heaven and Earth. There are 78 people here, meaning 26 teams. So 13 teams will get a Heaven scroll, and the other 13 will get an Earth scroll. To pass this test, you must make it to the tower with both scrolls. Naruto thinks to himself, no matter what, at least half the teams will fail. But, then again considering the things in that forest, I would be surprised if there are actually 13 teams left at the end of this test. However, there is a time limit. This test will last 120 hours. Exactly 5 days. Ino and Choji are both shocked. 5 days. What about food? You're on your own. The forest is full of food. Just watch out for man-eating beasts, poisonous insects, and poisonous plants. 13 teams passing is not likely. As the days go on, the distance to the goal will become farther, and the time to rest will become shorter. The area is crawling with enemies, so you won't get much sleep. So, not only will some fail by losing the scroll, but some will die from the harshness of the course. Now then, the things that will disqualify you are as follows. If you don't make it to the tower with both scrolls in the time limit, if a teammate is killed, and you must not look inside either scroll until you're inside the tower. Those that open the scrolls early will have a nasty surprise waiting for them. Also, you can't quit at any time during this exam, you will be in there for 5 days. That's it for explanations. Exchange the 3 signed forms for your scroll, then choose a gate to get ready for the start of the test. I only have one final word of advice. Don't die. The teams sign the forms, collect their scrolls, and head for their gates. Naruto's team gets a Heaven scroll and end up at gate 12. Are you guys ready? The test begins now. The gates open and the teams rush into the forest. At gate 15, 3 Kusa ninja enter the forest, however, once they were out of sight of the gate, 2 of them dissolve into water. The third reaches up and pulls off her hat and wig, revealing her red hair. Now, where are you, Naruto? Scene change. Naruto sighs as he realizes that the AIM ninjas have the same scroll as they did. Shortly after they had entered the forest, Naruto had gone to take a piss. While he was gone, an AIM team attacked Sasuke and Sakura. Thankfully, Naruto returned to help defeat the enemies. Well, we have to keep searching. Let's go. Why should we listen to you, Dobi? Simple. 1. I've been in this forest before and know it like the back of my hand. 2. Unlike you, all my plans actually work in the end, so shut up and follow me. Don't talk to Sasuke-kun like that. He is the greatest ninja ever and you are just a loser. The 3 start arguing back and forth with each other over whether Naruto or Sasuke should be in charge, when a huge gust of wind hits the group. All 3 are sent flying. Sakura and Sasuke both slam into trees. Sakura is knocked unconscious. Naruto grabs onto another tree and holds on until the wind dies down. Sasuke, Sakura, are you guys okay? I'm fine, Dobi. Sakura is out cold. That wind was a jutsu. Who's out there? Show yourself. A woman's laughter fills the area they are in. I told you I would be testing you, Naruto. Let's see how strong you are. Naruto's eyes widen. You. Out of the tree steps the Otokage. Sasuke looks at Naruto. You know her, Dobi. Stay out of this, Sasuke. This is between her and me. Don't tell me what to do. I am an Uchiha. Kushina raises an eyebrow. Huh, I thought I knocked out both of them. Well, I guess I need to get rid of this stubborn fool. Sasuke glares at the Otokage. Like you could do anything to me. I am Sasuke Uchiha. You have no chance against me. Don't provoke her. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Back off, Dobi. No one can stand up to the power of an Uchiha. The Otokage starts laughing at Sasuke's words. Tell me, Uchiha, if your clan is so powerful, then why are they all dead? Sasuke activates his Sharingan. Shut up, wench. You should feel honored to face me. The Otokage looks at Naruto. Shall we? All three move at once. Scene change. Gaara feels a chakra spike that has him shivering. It's her. Mother is afraid of her. Temari and Kankuro shiver as well, knowing who he is talking about. Scene change. Enko is sitting outside of the forest, munching on dango, when she feels the chakra spike. This chakra is so foul. Could it be? She jumps into the forest and heads in the direction of the spike. Why are you here, Orochimaru? Scene change. Sasuke is overwhelmed by the black chakra emanating from the mystery woman. This power, it's incredible. This woman would sire powerful children. She's perfect to be an Uchiha bride. I must make her mine. While he is thinking about thoughts that will never happen, Naruto and the Otokage continue trading blows with each other. Man, she's powerful. It's what I would expect from a Kage. He's doing better than I expected, considering how much help he had from this disgusting village. In fact, I'd say he's definitely ready for Chunin. I'm so proud of him. The two separate and stand facing each other. You're strong, Naruto. I'm looking forward to you joining me. That's if I join. You have no guarantee. I suppose that's true. You said the identity of my parents was being kept from me. Does that also mean that you know who they are? Trust me, there's no way I wouldn't know. Then, please, tell me who they are. The Otokage opens her mouth to answer, but stops and closes her mouth again. Tell you what, it's predicted that this year, too many teams will pass the second exam. So there will be a preliminary round before the third exam. If you can pass the preliminary, I will tell you why I'm so interested in you, as well as who your parents are. But you must not tell anyone about this. Deal. Now, come at me. The two resume fighting. At this point, Sasuke gets his head out of the clouds. Why is she fighting him? He's nothing but a dead last. She should be focused on me. Sasuke Uchiha. And, if I have anything to say about it, her future husband. I won't let the Dobi show me up. I'll kill him. Sasuke does some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. The two notice the fireball and manage to jump out of the way in time. Damn it. Sasuke was trying to kill me with that. From what I've heard, Sasuke is obsessed with killing Itachi for killing the entire Uchiha clan. Before, I would have helped him as Makoto was my best friend, but she didn't do anything to help my son either, so I say good riddance, she's dead. I will have to have a chat with Itachi, though. One final lesson from his old teacher. In the meantime, what should I do about little Sasuke? Well, I could always finish the job for Itachi. I know. I'll show him just how dangerous it is to constantly crave for power. After all, you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. She moves quickly positioning herself behind Sasuke. While Sasuke is busy looking for her, her neck extends and her teeth bite down into Sasuke's neck. She retracts her neck and Sasuke collapses to the ground, screaming as an intricate seal appears on his neck, where she bit him. Naruto looks on in curious shock. Not that I really care about him, but what did you do to him? I gave him exactly what he wants. Nothing more. It will be amusing to see what happens next. In the meantime, you've passed my test, Naruto. Here's your reward. She pulls out an earth scroll and tosses it to Naruto. Also, your mother is still alive. This surprises Naruto. What? It's true. And Konoha is responsible for making sure she couldn't raise you. She waits for the day where she can hold you in her arms again, Naruto. Who is she? I told you, you have to win the preliminary round to find out. She walks up to him. Naruto, the proctor noticed our little spar. I have to leave now. To clear you of suspicion of attacking your teammates, I'll knock you unconscious. What should I tell them? That you guys were attacked by a mystery woman. They won't connect that to me. Goodbye, Naruto. I look forward to talking to you again. She chops him on the neck and he falls unconscious. The Otokage quickly turns and leaves. Shortly after that, Sasuke falls unconscious from the pain. Less than 2 minutes later, Enko arrives. Damn it, I missed him. She hears a groan and notices Sakura waking up. Oh, my head. Girl, what happened here? I don't know. All I remember is a huge gust of wind. Oh my god, Sasuke-kun. Sakura quickly runs over to check on Sasuke. She finds the mark on his neck. What's this? Enko walks over to check and gasps. I would say it's a curse mark, but this one looks completely different. Has he upgraded it since we last met? She moves to check on Naruto. The Kyuubi brat is only unconscious. I would kill him here, but the council want the Uchiha to make it past this round. She turns to Sakura. Girl, stay here and protect your teammates. I'm going to look for whoever attacked you. Enko quickly leaves. Sakura goes over to Naruto and drags him over to where Sasuke is, not caring if she accidentally injures him more. Scene change. Naruto finds himself in front of the Kyuubi's cage. What do you want, Fox? Naruto. It's not possible for your mother to be alive. What do you mean? Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, my previous host. What? It was when you told me your last name was Uzumaki that I was sure. Then why didn't you tell me about her before? She's been dead for years, what's the point of talking about the dead? Naruto slaps his forehead. Of course, demons don't view death the same way humans do. There's another reason I called you here. What's that? I don't want a weak host. However, you refuse to use my power. So, I decided to offer you something else instead. And that is an ancient dojutsu that's been lost to time. Naruto is surprised. Why? I just told you. I don't want a weak host. What's this dojutsu? It's called the Konhekigen or soul-piercing eye. What it does is let you affect a living being's soul and in its advanced stages, attack and even destroy the soul. Naruto is amazed. This dojutsu sounds powerful. However, he is still wary. What's the catch? You'll only have access to the first stage at first and you'll have to unlock the advanced stages on your own. Naruto ponders for a few minutes. Tell me everything the first stage can do. Vanex. The chapter isn't over yet. I'm just making a note here that all the abilities of the first stage will be listed just below the little note I leave at the end of each chapter to try to clear any confusion. Scene change. Naruto groans as he wakes up. You're awake, Naruto. What happened to Sasuke-kun? Give me a minute. Geez, I just woke up. He stands up and stretches and looks at Sakura. We were attacked by a mysterious woman. She was very powerful. She overwhelmed both Sasuke and me. I remember that she bit Sasuke, but not much else. What should we do now? Naruto can see she is frightened. Well, we should head for the tower. We have both scrolls, so we will be able to enter. What? When did we get an Earth scroll? Naruto quickly comes up with another lie on the spot. While Sasuke and I were fighting the woman, I managed to pick her pocket and took her Earth scroll. She must not have noticed. Naruto moves to pick up Sasuke, but is stopped by his chakra flaring. Sasuke stands up on his feet. He is covered in black marks and has an evil grin on his face. He starts laughing. This power feels great. I'm so much closer to killing Itachi. And I'll start by proving I'm stronger than you, Gobi. Fight me and die. Sasuke charges at Naruto, but he dodges him. I guess this is a good time to test my new abilities. Konhekigen. Naruto's eyes darken, but also glow, like they were constantly flashing. He looks at Sasuke. His soul was dark and becoming darker. He really is corrupt. I'll have to use it. He looks Sasuke directly in his Sharingan eyes. His eyes flash brighter for a second. Sasuke gasps as the black marks recede and his Sharingan shuts off. He suddenly feels much weaker. What did you do to me? I've desynced your body and your soul. I won't tell you everything it does, but I will tell you that you've been cut off from your chakra. Damn you. Sasuke charges at Naruto again, but Naruto easily steps out of the way and chops Sasuke on the neck. He falls unconscious. Naruto picks up the unconscious Sasuke. Let's go, Sakura. I want to get to the tower as soon as possible. What did you do to Sasuke-kun? He's just taking a nap. He'll be fine in a couple of hours. Now, come on. The two head for the tower. Scene change. A few hours later, they arrive at the tower. Naruto sets Sasuke on the floor. Okay, let's open the scrolls. Naruto opens the Earth scroll, while Sakura opens the Heaven scroll. The scrolls start smoking and Naruto's eyes widen. It's a summoning. Get rid of them. The two toss the scrolls, which unravel on the floor and cross over each other. There is a puff of smoke where the two scrolls intersect. The smoke clears to reveal none other than Iruka Yumino. Hey, congrats on making it early. What happened to Sasuke? Naruto sighs. We were attacked in the forest. How long were we in there? Only 1 day. The test still has 4 days before it ends, so take the time to rest and prepare. Iruka-sensei. Sasuke-kun has a weird mark on his neck. Iruka frowns and checks the mark. I'll have someone look at it. In the meantime, you two should rest. Naruto nods. Thanks, I know I will. Scene change. Anything else to report, Anko? Anko is standing in front of the third Hokage. No, sir. I couldn't track him. The third Hokage ponders. So, Orochimaru has returned and given Sasuke a new curse mark. He's always had a desire to learn all the jutsu in the world, and the Sharingan would be the perfect tool for him to obtain the goal. Should we cancel the exams? No. If we cancel the exams, he'll know we're onto him. We'll proceed with the exams and wait for his next move. In the meantime, return to your post, Anko. Yes, sir. Anko leaves. What will you do next, Orochimaru? I know you're connected somehow to Otogakure, and I will figure it out and stop you. It's my duty to stop you, my former student. He turns his chair to look out the window. All I can do now is wait. Vanex. And that's it for now. Before any of you ask why Kushina gave Sasuke a curse mark, it's not the same mark Orochimaru used. It has unique properties. I'll say this now, Team 7, except for Naruto, will die during the fall of Konoha. I have their deaths planned out, and the new mark will be connected to both Sasuke and Sakura's deaths. However, I can't wait until I kill Kakashi. I have the perfect death for him. Trust me on that. It's brilliant. Well, see you all next time. Kanhekigan aka Soul Piercing Eye. First stage, he will be able to see the souls of living beings. Every soul is unique, so he will be able to tell different people apart from each other. He can also see if the soul is good or evil. Good souls will be a bright color and evil souls will be a dark color. Also, he will be able to desynchronize the soul and the body. This weakens the target in multiple ways. First, the victim will feel weak, even if they hadn't done anything to exhaust themselves yet. Secondly, they won't be able to use their full strength or speed due to the desynchronization. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, when Captain Ginyu and Goku switched bodies. Neither was able to bring out their new body's full strength, because their body and soul weren't working properly together. So, what I'm saying is that their taijutsu will be weakened. Thirdly, the victim won't be able to use their chakra. The body will still try to access the chakra, but it won't recognize the chakra. The chakra will still be there in the network, but it will stop flowing through the tenketsu points, even though they're still open. The effects will wear off in about an hour or so. That's the amount of time it will take for the body and soul to resynchronize. Note 1. He must make eye contact to use any abilities that affect the soul. You know what they say, the eyes are the window to the soul. Note 2. The dojutsu is linked to his soul, so if anyone were to take his eyes, they won't get the ability. Chapter 5. 4 days later, Team 7, all fully conscious, are standing in a huge room along with the 6 other teams that arrived after they did. The teams were, Team 8, Team 9, Team 10, Team 11, Kabuto's team, the team from Suna, and the team from Oto. Across from teams stands the third Hokage, the team senseis, and the others all involved in the exams, including the proctors. Naruto notices that the sensei for Team Oto was a black-haired woman, instead of the Otokage, until she winks at him and he notices her dark blue eyes. Anko speaks up. All right, Hokage-sama will now explain the third test. Listen carefully. The Hokage clears his throat. Before we start, there is something I want you to all know. It's about the true reason for these exams. Naruto raises his eyebrow. True reasons. Why do we have all the allied countries taking the exam together? It's to promote friendship among the countries. This exam is a replacement for war among the allied countries. If you go back in time, the current allies were enemies who fought each other for dominance. In order to prevent wasteful fighting, the exams were chosen as the stage for battle. That is the true origin of the Chunin exams. It is a fact that this exam decides which ninjas have what it takes to be a Chunin, but each ninja also risk their own life to protect their land's prestige. Leaders and influential individuals from many countries who provide clients for ninjas will be watching the third exam. They will be watching your battles to determine the strength of your country. If the strength of a country is clearly strong, they will receive more clients. However, if they are seen as weak, they will lose clients. Also, it will send a message to the other countries on how strong your particular country is and, depending on how you perform, either encourage or dissuade them from attacking your country. The strength of the country is the strength of the village. The strength of the village is the strength of the ninja. And a ninja's true strength is born only in life-risking battles. This exam is a place to see each country's strength, and show off your own strength. It only has meaning because lives are at risk. Tenten is confused on one point. But then, why did you say that stuff about friendship? I said it at the beginning, so that I wouldn't confuse you to the purpose of this. Losing life and establishing balance. That is the shape of friendship in the world of the shinobi. Naruto shakes his head. If that is true, then we have Onid up world. The Hokage continues. Before we begin the third exam, I will tell you one more thing. This is not just an exam, this is a life-risking battle, with your country's prestige on the line. Now, I'd like to explain the third exam, but he is interrupted by a sickly-looking man. Excuse me, Hokage-sama, but as the next proctor, I should explain it to them. Go ahead. Hello everyone, I'm the proctor for the third exam, Hayate Gecko. Before we do the exam, we will need to do a preliminary round to decide who gets to participate in the actual exam. We think that the previous two exams were too easy this year. We have too many people remaining. According to the rules, we need to have a preliminary to reduce the numbers. As Hokage-sama mentioned earlier, there will be many guests at the exam. So the fights could take too long. We are limited in time. So anyone who does not want to participate can leave now if they wish, and it won't affect your team because we'll be starting the preliminary immediately. Kabuto shares a look with the Otokage and steps forward. I quit. You're Kabuto Yakushi from Konoha, right? You may leave now. Naruto is puzzled. Why are you quitting, Kabuto? I'm sorry Naruto, but my body is all beat up. There's no way I'll last. While they are talking, Enko looks at Kabuto's info. I've seen him before. He quit during the final test last year. According to this, he's failed 6 times before. The Hokage looks at her, surprised. 6 times. What kind of record is that? Since his academy days, he was a student who didn't stand out too much. His grades were average and didn't graduate until his 3rd attempt. His completed missions are 2C rank and 14D rank. No spectacular battle history. However, there's something before he entered the academy. Do you remember the boy they brought back from the battle at Bellflower Pass? The Hokage nods. As I remember, a Jonin medic brought back a child of the enemy who had survived the battle. So, he's the boy. Back over with Kabuto, he's thinking to himself. You sure are devoted, Kushina-sama. I would like to ask you to let me handle everything, but... He looks over at Naruto. Naruto, I would like to play with you a little longer, but any more and the old blood will start boiling. I am a spy after all, and can't reveal my true face here. He looks over to the Otokage. You've got everything under control, don't you? I guess my job of gathering information is done, Kushina-sama. One of Kabuto's teammates whispers to him. Don't take selfish actions. Have you forgotten Otokage-sama's orders? I'll let you guys handle it. Especially you, Yoroi. With your abilities, there should be no problems. This is your chance to show your strength. I know you're pissed because I've surpassed you. Otokage-sama's favorite, huh? Don't get too confident, kid. I understand, senpai. But don't call me Kushina-sama's favorite. You and I both know who that really is. Of course. None of us could be more important than him, in her eyes. Kabuto waves to Naruto and turns to leave. As he walks away, he smirks. Sasuke watches him leave, but feels a spasm of pain from the seal on his neck. Sakura moves to have Sasuke pulled out of the exam, but he stops her. Don't interfere, Sakura. Stay out of matters that don't concern you. The Hokage and those standing with him, notice Team 7. Are you sure we shouldn't pull the Uchiha out of the exams? Asks Anko. I'm sure. However, if the curse mark starts acting up, jump in and stop him. Hayate coughs. Since no one else is wanting to quit, we will start the preliminary. Since we have exactly 20 people, we will have 10 one-on-one matches. The winners will advance to the third exam. There are basically no rules. The fights will continue until one of you dies, is knocked out, or admits defeat. But when I decide the winner is clearly established, I will step in and stop the fight. It's to make sure we don't have too many corpses. He gestures to a screen. This electronic scoreboard will show the randomly selected matchups for each battle. Now then, let's decide the first two combatants. The word, versus, appears on the middle of the screen. The areas above and below shuffle through different names, before stopping on two names. Sasuke Uchiha vs. Yoroi Ikato. Both of you stay down here, while everyone else, proceed to the upper level. Everyone else moves out of the arena and climbs the stairs to the upper balconies. Kakashi lingers a few moments to speak to Sasuke. Sasuke, don't hold back. You are an Uchiha and won't get into any trouble. Sasuke smirks. I understand. The Otokage smirks. Even with my little gift, which he doesn't know how to use, Sasuke stands no chance against Yoroi. His abilities will settle this fight, easily. Now then, begin. Hayate jumps out of the way as the two begin to fight. Sasuke throws some kunai at Yoroi, but he dodges and grabs onto Sasuke. Sasuke feels his strength leaving him. You're draining my chakra, so you noticed. He keeps his grip on Sasuke, until all his chakra is drained. Sasuke collapses unconscious. Winner, Yoroi Ikato. Everyone except Naruto, the Otokage, the Oto team, Yoroi, and Yoroi's teammate are shocked to see the almighty Uchiha lose. Yoroi goes to join his teammate, while the medics scramble with each other to give their god the best medical treatment. Naruto laughs. So much for the Uchiha. It makes me question whether he was really the rookie of the year. Kakashi glares at Naruto. Just you wait, demon. You will die. Kurenai also glares at Naruto. That damn demon thinks he's so strong. It's a good thing I broke Hinata free of your mind control, you beast. I will watch you die at her hand and I will laugh. After all, you must have been responsible for Kushina-senpai's disappearance. Justice will be served. She feels a ki directed at her and turns to see the sensei of the Oto team giving her the same glare she was giving to Naruto. Why is she glaring at me like that? Kurenai, I was your babysitter. I was like a second mother to you. You've let your anger at my disappearance blind you to the truth. You've disappointed me. I have no choice but to kill you as well. Hayate draws everyone's attention back to him. Zaku Abumi vs. Shino Aburame. Will the two of you come down? The two proceed down to the arena. A few minutes later, Zaku defeats Shino, with his extreme decapitating airwaves, killing all of Shino's insects and sending Shino into the wall. In the next match, Kankuro defeats Masumi Tsurugi, Kabuto's other teammate, by switching places with his puppet. After that, Sakura and Ino face off and the fight ends in a draw. Then Temari and Tenten fight with Temari not just winning, but ultimately humiliating Tenten. The sixth match features Shikamaru and Kintsuchi. Surprisingly, Kin defeats Shikamaru. She uses a genjutsu that allows her to strike Shikamaru with some poison Senbon. The poison quickly spreads and Shikamaru falls unconscious. Naruto Uzumaki vs. Kiba Inuzuka. Will the two of you come down? Yahoo, Akamaru. We get the dead last. This will be easy. All of the Konoha shinobi, excluding the Genin, the Hokage, and Hayate, smirk. Kiba will defeat the demon and end the threat to us once and for all. Naruto jumps onto the top of the railing and simply walks off it. Everyone except the Otokage are shocked to see him land on his feet with no injuries being sustained from the fall. Well, Kiba, I would like to get this fight done and over with, so get your down here. Kiba jumps. He then runs to the stairs and runs down them to join Naruto and Hayate. You might as well surrender, dead last. I told you before you have no chance. And I told you before that being in a clan doesn't mean you're all powerful. I also said that appearances can be deceiving. Why don't I show you what I mean? The Otokage watches Naruto and Kiba. So that's Tsume's kid, huh? He's nothing but talk. Tsume didn't do much to help my son, either. They will have to pay the price. I'm a little bit sad that I have to kill my old student Hana, as well, but that's the price you pay for your ignorance. Now then, show the foolish mutt your power, Naruto-kun. Now, begin. Hayate jumps away while Kiba quickly uses one of his clan moves. Passing Fang. He starts spinning and launches toward Naruto. Before it hits Naruto, he vanishes. Kiba's attack makes a crater in the ground. Where did he go? Looking for me. Kiba turns to see Naruto standing calmly. Passing Fang. Naruto dodges again. Now Kiba is pissed. Hold still, so that you can hit me with that. You must really think I'm such an idiot to listen to that. Now, is it my turn? Naruto moves fast, striking Kiba across the face. Kiba is sent into one of his two craters. He gets up, obviously in pain with a hand on his jaw. Damn you. Naruto moves again, striking Kiba in the stomach. Kiba doubles over and Naruto grabs onto him. Naruto then smirks at him. Boom. Kiba's eyes widen, but the clone has such a grip on him, that he is at the center of the explosion. Kiba is shot into the wall where his burned and battered body slumps unconscious. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, who was leaning against the far wall ever since he swapped out with his clone, smirks and heads to the stairs. The medics collect Kiba and carry him away. Again, almost all the Konoha ninja are in shock. The demon won. But, how? Kakashi is especially shocked. Where did he learn that move? I didn't teach it to him. I made sure that he was neglected during the training sessions. The Otokage smirks. Well done, Naruto-kun. You've earned your reward. I will finally tell you who I am. Once you join me, we will destroy Konoha together. Kakashi stops Naruto. Where did you learn that technique? Does it really matter, Kakashi? That's sensei to you, Genin. You will answer my question or I will charge you for insubordination. If you really must know, I learned it from the same place I learned the shadow clone technique. Does that satisfy you? Kakashi is silent. That's what I thought. Naruto walks back to where he was before his fight was called. The matches continue on. Hinata and Neji face off. Neji severely kicks the crap out of Hinata and would have killed her if the Jonin didn't step in. They are followed up by Gaara vs Rock Lee. After a brutal fight, Gaara defeats Rock Lee. The final match is between Choji and Dosu Kinuta. Dosu wins the fight easily with his sound attacks. With that, the preliminaries are complete. Will the remaining examinees join me down here? The 9 finalists walk down to the arena floor. They stand across from the Hokage and the others again. The Hokage speaks up. Now then, as I told you before, in the main event, your matches will be seen by everybody. Each of you will fight to represent the strength of your countries. I'd like you to show off all your powers with no reserves. Which is why the exams will be held 1 month from now. The reasons are simple. We need time to get all the important visitors into the village. Also, none of you are at your full strength, so it wouldn't be much of a fight. Finally, it gives you all a chance to learn some new abilities to throw your opponents off guard. Now then, Enko will come around with a box. Reach in and take 1 slip of paper and call out the number on the paper. It's 8, says Dosu. I've got 1, says Naruto. 7, says Temari. 5, says Kankuro. 3, says Gaara. 9, says Kin. 2, says Neji. 6, says Zaku. 4, says Yoroi. All right, now the final tournament lineup will be revealed. The lineup was as follows. Match 1, Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Match 2, Gaara vs Yoroi Akato. Match 3, Kankuro vs Zaku Abumi. Temari will face off against the winner of Match 4, Dosu Kinuta vs Kinsuchi. You are all now free to train or rest for the next month. One more thing though, winning the 3rd exam doesn't guarantee a promotion to Chunin. There will be judges, including myself, the Kazekage, the Otokage, and lords of various countries. Throughout the tournament, these judges will be evaluating your abilities. Those judged to have the necessary qualifications will be promoted, even if they lose their first match. So there is a possibility that everyone could become Chunin, but on the flip side there is also a possibility that no one could become Chunin. To advance in this tournament means that you will have more chances to appeal to the judges. Thank you for all the effort you've all shown up to this point. You are all dismissed until a month from now. As everyone starts leaving, Naruto notices the Otokage gesturing for him to follow her and her team. The Otokage leads the 4 to a secluded area of the forest, where she removes the black wig. She turns to her team. I want you 3 to head back to our meeting room. I will start with your training tomorrow, but first I must give Naruto-kun here his reward. Dosu speaks up. We understand sensei. The Oto team walk away, leaving Naruto alone with the Otokage. Naruto-kun, do you know of the Kyuubi's previous host? Yes, it was my mother, Kushina Uzumaki. The Kyuubi informed me after our last talk. Well, the seal used to keep the Kyuubi contained originated from the Uzumaki clan of Uzushiogakure. There's a clan. Yes, they specialized in fuinjutsu. They were masters in the art. They were also gifted with an extraordinary amount of vitality. It allowed them to live out longer lives than most people. However, they were wiped out during the last war. There are few survivors, including Kushina. But they've all gone into hiding. So, it's pretty much impossible to locate them. Anyway, the seal that was used on your mother to hold back the Kyuubi had one weakness. When the host is pregnant, energy is diverted to help with the development of the child. The seal is at its weakest at the moment the host gives birth. Your father tried to maintain the seal, but he couldn't hold it. The Kyuubi broke free and headed towards Konoha to get his revenge for his imprisonment. Thanks to the vitality boost, she survived. Your father then took you so that you could be used to contain the Kyuubi. Kushina didn't want for you to be used as a host. Heck, her idea was to pull the Kyuubi back into her body. That would have killed her, but the Kyuubi would have died with her. However, your father wanted to make another Jinchuriki, so that Konoha would have a weapon. So he sealed the beast inside of you. Naruto is shocked as he realizes what she's implying. Yes, Naruto-kun. Your father was Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage. Why was I never told? I already told you, they wanted to turn you into their weapon. A powerful force who could crush their enemies for them. Naruto is very angry. But then he realizes what she hasn't told him. Where is my mother? Well, after the fourth took you away, she was attacked and knocked unconscious by people of Konoha. They then sold her to Orochimaru, a rogue ninja who was in the area to see if the Kyuubi would destroy Konoha. He took her away because he had special plans for her. You see, Orochimaru had contracted an illness. It had no cure. He spent weeks trying to find a way to avoid his impending death, but he had no success. So he decided to train someone to continue his work after he died. He chose Kushina to be his successor. A few years later, he established the village of Otogakure, a place where people with great and unique potential could live without the scrutiny of others. He was chosen to be the first Otokage. However, he soon succumbed to his illness, but he made Kushina promise to destroy Konoha for him as well as take down the rest of the major villages. As for Kushina, she was selected to be the second Otokage and she is still the Otokage to this day. Naruto's eyes widen as the full implications of what she said hit him. That's right, Naruto-kun. I am Kushina Uzumaki. I'm your long-lost mother, and I've come back for you. Naruto stands frozen in shock. His head lowers. Why? He raises his head again. He has a look of anger in his eyes. Why didn't you come back for me sooner? Because, it was me versus an entire village. I didn't even have a chance at getting you back 12 years ago. So I had someone keep an eye on you while I gathered forces and waited for the opportunity to come in and get you. Also, you had a tracking seal placed on you, so the Hokage and the Anbu know where you are at all times. They would have known the moment you left Konoha. Just so I could be turned into their loyal weapon. That's right. Naruto lowers his head again. I don't know anything anymore. My whole life has been one big lie. I've been purposely isolated my whole life. I've had it. I don't want to be alone anymore. You don't have to be alone anymore. I'm here for you, Naruto-kun. And, I'm never going to leave you alone ever again. You were taken away from me 12 years ago and I've worked hard to get you back. This is the real reason I want you to join me. It's because you're my son. There is no ulterior motive for me wanting you to join Otogakure. I just want my son back in my life. Kushina starts crying. Please Naruto-kun, join me and together we will make Konoha pay for destroying our family 12 years ago. Naruto looks up at Kushina. Now he is also crying. You're really here, Mom. You really came back for me. Yes, Naruto-kun, I'm really here. She extends her arms. Come here, Naruto-kun. Come give your mother a hug. Naruto can't take it anymore. He sprints forward into Kushina's arms. The mother-son duo just stand there in their embrace, crying on each other's shoulder, reunited at last. Some time later, Kushina returns to one of Orochimaru's old hideouts in Konoha, where she is meeting with the Oto team, the Suna team, and Kabuto's team. Only, she doesn't return alone. Welcome to our secret hideout, Naruto-kun. You should be familiar with everyone in this room. Naruto raises an eyebrow at the presence of Kabuto and his team. You guys were spies, weren't you? Kabuto nods at Naruto. That's right, Naruto-kun. I was sent to not only gather information, but keep an eye on you. It was hard to do, especially when you have to keep up with Konoha Anbu. Kushina speaks up. Now then, the Suna team will be trained by their sensei, while I will train my team, along with Naruto for the exams. We will launch our attack during the exams, when all the attention is focused on them. Everyone nods their heads in agreement. Kushina grins evilly, and her eyes change to the yellow, serpent ones. Good. In 1 month, Konoha will burn for their transgressions. And no one will stop us. Chapter 6. Naruto sits in the middle of his apartment, shirtless. Intricate markings are drawn on his body, all circling a seal on his back. Kushina, who had drawn the markings on Naruto, takes a deep breath. Okay, Naruto-kun. This will destroy the tracking seal. It took me years to develop this. I will warn you, this will hurt. Are you ready? Naruto nods. Kushina does some hand signs and touches the tracking seal. Naruto screams in pain as the intricate markings seem to be absorbed by the tracking seal. The seal vanishes. Kushina helps Naruto to his feet. Let's go. They will have noticed the disappearance of the tracking seal. Naruto takes only enough time to slip his shirt and jacket back on before they leave. Scene change. The Hokage is sitting in his office, doing paperwork, when he suddenly looks up. Someone has done something to Naruto's tracking seal. His life could be in danger. Anbu. 4 Anbu appear in front of the desk. Investigate the last known location of Naruto Uzumaki. I fear someone is trying to kidnap or kill him. Yes, sir. The Anbu leave. The Hokage puts his head in his hands. Please be alright, Naruto. Man, I'm getting too old for all this stress. Scene change. The Uzumaki duo arrive back at the hideout. We'll have to wait a few hours before the training can start, Naruto-kun. Long enough for the Anbu to give up looking for you. That's okay. I wanted to ask you something, anyway. This is going to sound silly, but is there a way to make my hair like yours? Kushina is surprised. What do you mean? Well, my hair comes from my bastard father, right? Is there a way to change it to Uzumaki red? Kushina grins. That's easy. Come this way. She leads him further into the hideout, into one of the experiment rooms. Sit down on the table. Naruto sits on the table, while Kushina goes over to a cabinet. She rummages through it until she pulls out a bottle with a clear liquid. She grabs a syringe and fills it with the liquid. Now, what this will do is affect your DNA. DNA is basically the template of your body. It determines your gender, eye color, hair color, etc. A person's DNA is their parents' DNA combined. Basically, you carry all the genes of both of your parents. However, half of them are being suppressed by the dominant genes of the other parent. For example, the gene for the bastard's hair is dominant over the gene for my hair. Same thing with the eyes. However, it's reversed for the genes concerning your facial structure. Do you understand? Naruto nods. Good. Now, what this will do is target particular genes and swap the dominant ones with the recessive ones. This one will make the change to your hair. However, this will only affect the roots and any hair you grow after this. For the hair you've already grown, we'll just dye it. Will this affect my hairstyle? I like the spiky hair. No, just the color. She walks up to Naruto and injects him. He sits still for a few moments, before he starts shaking. Whoa, this feels weird. Well, your body is being partially rewritten, so you're bound to feel something. He keeps shaking for a few minutes. After he stops, Kushina checks the base of his hair. A very familiar shade of red could be seen. Kushina walks out of the room for a few minutes, before returning with a bottle of Uzumaki red hair dye. She begins applying it to the remaining blonde hair. Scene change. Sir, we looked everywhere near his apartment. Naruto Uzumaki has just vanished into thin air. The Hokage looks worried. Is there any indication that he's left the village? No, sir. According to the gate guards, no one has left the village within the last hour. Did anyone see him between the Chunin exam preliminary and when he vanished? Not many people pay attention to him, sir. However, someone did say they saw him with a red-haired woman, heading to his apartment. This was about a half an hour before he disappeared, sir. Well, considering that no one has left the village in the last hour, he must still be somewhere in Konoha. Begin searching for him, immediately. Yes, sir. Also, Jiraiya has been spotted in the village. Really? Tell him to report to me, and if he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, I'll have his traveling rights revoked. Yes sir. The Anbu leave. The Hokage sits back to ponder. A red-haired woman, who would be interested in Naruto. No, it couldn't be, could it? But, she's dead. Then again, her body was never found. If it is her, why did she leave Naruto, 12 years ago? And why did she come back, now? Hey, sensei. You wanted to see me. The Hokage looks up to see that Jiraiya has entered his office. Yes, Jiraiya. We have suspicions that Orochimaru has returned to the village. What? Why would he come back? We think he is after Sasuke Uchiha, for his Sharingan. Do you want me to train him? No, Kakashi has that handled. I was hoping that you would train Naruto, but someone disabled the tracking seal, and he's vanished into thin air. Naruto. Who's that? The Hokage stares at Jiraiya in shock. What are you talking about, Jiraiya? I don't know anyone named Naruto. Naruto. Minato and Kushina's kid. Your godson. The godson you abandoned 12 years ago in your little quest to track down Orochimaru. Oh, him. Why should I care? What? You should care because he's your godson. So what? He's Minato's kid. You know, your favorite student. Doesn't mean I have to care about his kid. All that matters to me are Tsunade's, my research, and my secret wish that Orochimaru was a woman. Wait, what? Nothing. You heard nothing. The Hokage stares at Jiraiya. Okay, just get out of my office. You are not to leave the village until the threat passes. Is that understood? Yes, sensei. Jiraiya leaves. Fortunately for Kushina, Sarutobi is too distracted by Jiraiya's disturbing desire to remember his thoughts that Kushina might be alive. Scene change. Kushina and Naruto return to the hideout throne room. Naruto is enjoying the fact that his spiky, blonde hair is now spiky, red hair. Kushina sits down on the throne. Naruto, in order for me to train you and my team at the same time, I'll need you to teach me the shadow clone technique. Is it because that they transfer their knowledge back to the host, so you will know the progress of all four of us? Exactly. It doesn't take long for Kushina to learn it. Now, we can get to work. Kabuto. Kabuto enters the throne room. Yes, Kushina-sama. Summon my genin team. Training can finally begin. Kabuto leaves to perform his task. Kushina gestures for Naruto to come to her. He walks over to her and sits on her lap while her arms wrap around him, not wanting to let go. Scene change. Sir, we have searched the entire village. There is absolutely no sign of Naruto Uzumaki. I was afraid you were going to say that. Are you absolutely sure Naruto couldn't have left the village? 100% certain, sir. Very well, you're dismissed. The Anbu leave. The Hokage sighs. This is just great. Naruto has vanished. Minato would be pissed at me. Well, all I can do is hope he turns up for the Chunin exam finals. The sooner he can become Hokage and free me from this job, the better. He spins his chair to face the window. All I can do now is wait. Chapter 7. Sasuke and Kakashi are training hard outside Konoha. Training, so that Sasuke can defeat both Itachi and Naruto. Sasuke was just taking a break away from Kakashi, when he hears a noise. Who's there? Show yourself. Out from behind a tree, steps Kushina. You're that woman from the second exam. Good. I wanted to talk to you anyway. Kushina raises her eyebrow. What would you want to talk to me about? As the last Uchiha, it is my duty to restore my clan, once I destroy Itachi. I'll need a powerful woman at my side. I have chosen you to be given the great honor of being the new matriarch of the Uchiha clan and for you to be my wife. Kushina stares wide-eyed at Sasuke for a few seconds, before she bursts out laughing. Are you serious? Of course, I'm serious. Uchiha don't joke about these matters. Kushina's immediate response is to reject him, but then comes up with an idea. Tell you what, I actually came out here to help you in a different matter. You want to learn how to tap in that curse seal's power, don't you? Yes, I would do anything to use that power again. Kushina grins. She has Sasuke, right where she wants him. Good. Before I become your wife, I want you to master the seal. Of course, you don't know how to use it. I'll show you how to use the seal, but you will have to prove that you will do anything to gain the power. What do you want me to do? Sometime later, Sasuke returns to where he left Kakashi. Kakashi looks over at him. Yes, Sasuke. Kakashi, I need to return to Konoha. I forgot about the Uchiha scrolls on the Sharingan and their fire techniques. Very well, Sasuke. Kushina watches the two leave, before she disappears in a puff of smoke. Scene change. Kushina is sparring with Naruto, when she pauses. This allows Naruto to land a blow on her. He immediately knows something is up. Mom, is something wrong? I'll explain later, Naruto-kun. Let's just say my plans for disposing your former team are already underway. Scene change. Sasuke and Kakashi arrive back at Konoha. Kakashi, there's something else I need to do. Go get the scrolls from the Uchiha compound, while I go do what I need to do. Sure. Kakashi heads off to the Uchiha compound, while Sasuke walks off in another direction. Scene change. Sakura is home alone, doing her usual thing of daydreaming about her god. Oh, Sasuke-kun, if only you would make me your bride, we would be so happy together. There is a knock at the door. Sakura opens the door to see Sasuke standing there. Can I come in, Sakura? Of course, Sasuke-kun. You are always welcome here. Sasuke walks into the house and closes the door behind him. He proceeds to lock the door. He turns to give a dark look at Sakura. She backs in fear. What are you doing, Sasuke-kun? I'm doing what needs to be done for me to get what I want. Vanex. At this point, Sasuke rapes and kills Sakura. The scene itself has now been removed as of June 4, 2012 to comply with this site's reminder about stories and stories with scenes not being allowed. Sasuke stumbles to the Haruno's bathroom. He looks at himself in the mirror. His clothes are covered in blood. He snarls. Damn it. Now, I'll need to change my clothes, too. He washes off the kunai, watching the blood go down the sink. As he is preparing to leave, he notices a scroll sitting near Sakura's corpse, somehow clean of blood. He picks it up and opens it. Congratulations, Sasuke. I didn't think you would actually do it. Enclosed in this scroll is a fresh set of clothes and the instructions on how to use my curse seal. Have fun. Sasuke smirks as he channels chakra to the two storage seals on the scroll. He burns the scroll with a fire jutsu as he switches clothes. He then burns his old clothes. He takes the scroll with the instructions on the curse seal, and leaves the house. No one notices him. Scene change. Kakashi returns to the gate, with the scrolls in hand. Where is Sasuke? We do have training to get to. Fortunately for him, Sasuke walks up a moment later. Are we ready to go, Sasuke? Yes, Kakashi. We can go resume my training. The two leave the village. Scene change. Naruto can't help but grin, when Kushina explains to him her exact plans for the death of Team 7. And, you're saying Sakura is already dead. That's right, Naruto-kun. Raped and killed by the hand of the man she loves and worships. The man who she honestly believes that can do no wrong. It's the perfect death for her, don't you think? He nods in agreement as he leans into her again. Training had finished for the day. Kushina had returned to her throne and Naruto was in her lap again, with her arms wrapped around him. Naruto notices that they do this often, but he knows that they are doing this to make up for 12 years of lost time. Ah, I just remembered. There is one more thing I need you to do, Naruto-kun. Come with me. Kushina leads him outside. She pulls out a giant scroll and unravels it. Okay, Naruto-kun. This scroll is a summoning contract. Sign your name on this one, and you'll be able to summon snakes. You'll have to sign with your blood. Naruto nods, bites his thumb, and signs the contract. The name next to his was his mother's. The scroll is rolled up again. Okay, now you just have to perform these hand signs. She shows him. Channel as much chakra as you can and slam your hand onto the ground. Naruto does the hand signs. Summoning technique. There is a large puff of smoke and Manda appears. Who summons me? Oh, hello Kushina. What do you need? I didn't summon you, Manda. He did. Manda turns to look at Naruto. Say hello to my son, Manda. So this is Naruto. Your mother told me all about you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Manda. I look forward to working with you. Well, the boy knows respect. That's something that makes the two of you better than Orochimaru. I was just a tool for him. I approve of you being my summoner, Naruto. I can't wait to see what destruction we'll cause. Manda disappears in a puff of smoke. Kushina grins at Naruto. Well done, Naruto-kun. Manda on the first shot. You did say channel as much chakra as I can. Let's go celebrate. The two walk off to celebrate. Scene change. Sarutobi stares at the scene in shock. Mrs. Haruno had reported that her daughter had been murdered, but this was just gruesome. First Naruto disappears, then Sakura is killed. Are they connected? Sir, we have found traces of semen on her body. She was raped, sir. Have the semen analyzed. We might be able to determine who raped and killed her. Yes, sir. The men go back to work on the investigation. Sarutobi sighs. This month keeps getting worse and worse. Chapter 8. 1 month later. Hiruzen sighs to himself in his seat at the arena. Over the last month, Naruto disappeared and Sakura was raped and murdered. A semen sample was taken to identify the rapist. However, the results and sample disappeared, while the scientist who looked at the sample was found murdered. Then, both the bodies of Sakura and the scientist vanish. The Harunos beg the Hokage to search the village. Neither body was ever found. Due to the state of the second murder, the Hokage speculates that someone else killed the scientist to cover up who killed Sakura. A witness did say they saw an Anbu with an odd mask that had a symbol had been at the building that the scientist was found before he was found dead. The Hokage knows that Danzo is covering up the identity of the rapist and has done something with the two bodies. He can't figure out why, nor can he prove Danzo's involvement. He sighs again. This has been one crazy month. Scene change. This has been one crazy month. Dosu shakes his head at Naruto. Did Kushina-sama train you too hard? Not at all. It has definitely been worth it. After the training was complete, Kushina left the village, so that she could arrive officially as the Otokage without raising any suspicions. By the way, what do you guys think of the new look? All three members of Team Dosu smile at him. The look suits you, Naruto. It's great to have you on our side. Naruto smiles at them. Now then, let's go kick some. Scene change. Two people join the Hokage in his private booth. Cage, it's good to see you. Likewise, Hokage. The Cage takes his seat. The Hokage looks at the other person and is shocked. The person is a woman, dressed in cage robes that are violet. The symbol for Oto no Kuni can be seen on the hat. But what shocks him the most, is the woman wearing the robes. Kushina. It's been a while, old man. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to see how well my ninja perform in the finals. But I thought you were dead. Never someone is dead, when you don't find a body. Then why did you abandon Naruto? I did no such thing. I'll explain while we watch. Very well, but I want the full story. She sits in the remaining seat. The Hokage then turns to the Cage. You were the one who recommended Otogakure. Did you know of Kushina being the Otokage? Of course, but she swore me to silence. The Hokage sighs and leans back in his chair. I thought Orochimaru was in charge. What else have I been mistaken about? While he is thinking, Naruto and the three sound genin arrive and join the other finalists. The Hokage stands up to address the crowd. Welcome all to the Chunin selection exams. We are gathered to witness the third and final part of the exam. The remaining finalists will face off in a tournament-like fashion for your enjoyment. Now, sit back and enjoy the fights. I now turn this over to the proctor, Genma Shiranui. The Hokage sits back down as a man down in the area speaks up. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Now then, will the contestants enter the arena? The 9 finalists enter the arena. Everyone is surprised by Naruto's new outfit. Gone was the orange nightmare he was wearing before. He was still wearing a jumpsuit, but it was now black and red. It's his Shippuden outfit, except the orange is now red. Tied around the pants as a belt, is what looks like a blank headband. Over the jumpsuit, he is wearing a black coat, with red flames on the bottom of it. I don't really need to say what I did here. On his head, tied by a black cloth is his Konoha headband. All in all, everyone couldn't help but think that Naruto looks a lot more badass now, than he did before. Hell, even his new hair looked cooler. Genma speaks up. Now, then, there has been an adjustment to the tournament lineup. Please study the new lineup, to see if anything has changed for you. The new lineup was as follows. Match 1. Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Match 2, Gaara vs Yoroi Akato. Match 3, Kankuro vs Zaku Abumi. Match 4, Temari vs Sasuke Uchiha. Match 5, Dosu Kinuta vs Kinsuchi. This surprises everyone, considering that Sasuke was eliminated in the preliminaries. The Hokage shoots up from his seat. What? I didn't make that adjustment. Genma. Who authorized the change to the lineup? It was the council, sir. The Hokage slams his fist on his chair. Damn those two for going behind my back. Well then, the response to this is quite obvious. He is about to call for Sasuke to be disqualified, when Kushina stops him. Wait a minute, old man. Let the Uchiha participate. He did not earn his spot in the finals fairly. According to the rules he must be disqualified. Hear me out, this is an unexpected twist the finalists have to face. It could test how they perform when an unexpected element throws them off guard. You don't have to promote him. Hell, the arrogant prick doesn't deserve it. But he can provide extra entertainment for the crowd. The Hokage sighs. Very well. He then addresses the crowd. I have decided to allow Sasuke Uchiha to participate in the tournament. However, due to the fact that he didn't earn his spot in the finals, he will not have the chance to be promoted. This is my decree. The crowd roars in outrage. Silence. My decision is final. He will participate for your enjoyment and he'll have to wait to go for the promotion in the next exams. The Hokage sits back down as attention is drawn back to the arena. Elsewhere in the audience, the two elders stare angrily at him. Now then, the first match is between Naruto Uzumaki and Neji Hyuga. Those whose names have not been called must go to the participants' booth. 7 of the finalists leave the arena, leaving only Genma, Naruto, and Neji. Neji sneers at Naruto. You should give up. Even with your new wardrobe, you are still fated to lose. Really? What makes you so sure? I am the Hyuga prodigy. Due to my status, it is my destiny to win. You are a nobody, with no family and no status. It is the destiny for all nobodies like you to lose. Naruto bursts out laughing. Oh, you think you are destined to win just because you're a Hyuga? Wow, I didn't think you guys would be as arrogant as the Uchiha clan, but you've proved me wrong. Besides, I do have family and status. Everyone is surprised at his declaration. Hiruzen looks at Kushina. You told him, didn't you? Of course I did. Why would I deny him the knowledge of his family? He was taken away from me, 12 years ago. When I saw my chance to get him back, I took it. Something clicks into place in Hiruzen's mind. You were behind Naruto's disappearance a month ago, weren't you? Of course. Kakashi would never train him, nor would Jiraiya. Besides, it gave Naruto and I time to catch up. I am the son of Konoha's precious 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and his now, ex-wife, the super awesome, 2nd Otokage, Kushina Uzumaki. The whole crowd is stunned into silence. Everyone who knew Kushina look up at the cage booth to see the Otokage lift her hat, so that the whole crowd could see her face. She then calls out to Naruto. Did you have to introduce me, Naruto-kun? Why wouldn't I, Mom? I'm proud that you're my mother. Well, I'm proud that you're my son. Now make me more proud, by kicking the Hyugas. In the meantime, different people are having different thoughts. Kurenai is overjoyed. Kushina Senpai is alive. Oh, I can't wait to talk to her. She'll be happy to see me. Both Yugao and Hana are also ecstatic. Kushina Sensei is back. I can't wait to show her how much I've accomplished in all this time. Danzo is angered. Damn it. Orochimaru was supposed to dispose of her. And now the boy knows who she is. This will make my attempts at turning him into my weapon much harder to pull off. Well, I still have the Uchiha as my backup idea. Ibiki shakes his head. She's just as unpredictable as ever. Everyone else is shocked that the demon child is the son of their greatest hero. However, even with all the obvious proof, most of the villagers go into denial. He can't be the 4th son. It's a trick. He's a demon. The Hokage stands up. Silence. What Naruto has said, is the truth. He really is the son of Minato and Kushina. I can confirm this, as my deceased wife was asked to deliver Naruto, when Kushina went into labor. I also have Naruto's birth certificate. With the Hokage's declaration, some of the villagers realize how foolish they've been and fall silent, looking at Naruto with regret. The rest however, refuse to accept the truth and settle for glaring at Naruto. Neji sneers. It matters not. Even if you have family and status, you are the dead last in your year. Therefore, you are still fated to be a loser. Give up and walk away. Naruto rolls his eyes. You know something. You can't trust academy records, these days. The teachers have a way of sucking up to the clans, by giving them better grades than they actually got. In reality, all they want is to end up in bed with a clan member. They also sabotage people they don't like, making them the dead lasts. Well, actually they try to fail them, but other people stop them. For example, they didn't like Lee's enthusiasm. But Maida Guy interfered. Lee was able to pass as the dead last. Another example would be me, hated by the entire village since the day I was born. The only ones who actually cared were the Hokage, Ruruka-sensei, and the Ichiraku family. When Mizuki went traitor, I took him down with the shadow clone technique, which I learned from the forbidden scroll that Mizuki tricked me into stealing. Since Ruruka-sensei didn't hate me, I was allowed to graduate. It could also be that I took down a Chunin without even being a genin, but we can discuss this after the fight. Neji growls at him. Genma speaks up. Begin. Genma jumps out of the arena. Neji quickly activates his Byakugan. Naruto raises his eyebrow. Using the dojutsu right off the bat, huh? Why don't I show you mine? Soul-piercing eye. Everyone is shocked again. Hiruzen looks at Kushina. Did you know he had a dojutsu? Not right away. Apparently, he got it from the Kyuubi. Back at the arena, the two start fighting. As they continue to trade blows, Naruto mocks Neji. You Hyuga have one major flaw. You all rely too much on your dojutsu. Hell, your taijutsu style depends on it. They are all that is necessary. We Hyuga are superior. Then why aren't any of them Hokage? Neji growls. Naruto keeps speaking. You think you're so superior. Without your Byakugan, you Hyuga are nothing. I don't need my Byakugan to destroy you. Let's test that. His eyes glow for a minute. Neji gasps and his Byakugan shuts off. What? What did you do to me? Wouldn't you like to know? In the audience, Hiyashi Hyuga activates his Byakugan. What the? His chakra is still there, but it isn't flowing through any of the Tenketsu points, even though they're still open. Naruto smirks at Neji. Well, you said you don't need your Byakugan to destroy me. Prove it. Neji lets out a roar and charges at Naruto. Naruto easily dodges Neji's attacks, due to the fact that Neji's taijutsu is dependent on the Byakugan. I told you. You Hyuga depend too much on your Byakugan. Let me show you just how pathetic you are. Naruto punches Neji in the face. Neji stumbles back. Naruto presses his attack, hitting Neji over and over, until he kicks him away. Naruto then does some hand signs. Wind release. Great breakthrough. The gust of wind sends Neji into the arena wall. Naruto repeats the technique, except he adds fire chakra to it, turning the attack into a flamethrower. It sets Neji on fire. Neji screams as the fire burns him. Genma quickly interferes and douses Neji with a water jutsu. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Today is a day for people to be constantly shocked. The dead last demon boy, just defeated last year's Rookie of the Year in the Hyuga Prodigy. The medics arrive and carry the burnt Neji away. Kushina is ecstatic at Naruto's victory. I'm so proud of him. The Kazekage nods. I have to admit, your son has proven himself. He'll probably face my son in his next fight. It will be exciting to see. The Hokage is silent. While the fight had been going on, Kushina told him about her kidnapping. Damn that Danzo. I should have known he would do something like this. However, I can't help but feel that something isn't right here. There is more going on with Kushina than meets the eye. I just hope I can figure it out in time, before it can spell doom for this village. Chapter 9. Naruto walks back to the participants' booth, where the others all congratulate him on his victory. Dosu, Zaku, and Kankuro pound fists with him and or pat him on the back. Kin and Tamari both give him a thumbs up and a smile. Yoroi shakes his hand. Gaara just nods his head. Well, your match is up next, Gaara. I wish both you and Yoroi luck. Over the last month, Naruto took the time to learn about Gaara. When he found out how similar they were, Naruto befriended Gaara, helping him to fix the void between him and his family. Gaara now considers Naruto his first, true friend. Thank you, Naruto. I'll fight to get through to the next round, so that we can face off. Looking forward to seeing you there, Gaara. No offense, Yoroi. None taken, Naruto. Even I know that I probably won't win. You Jinchuriki are in a league of your own. Naruto and Gaara both smirk at him. Genma brings everyone's attention back to the arena. The next match is between Gaara and Yoroi Akato. Will the two of you come down? The two leave the booth and head into the arena. Begin. Yoroi charges fast at Gaara, hoping to suck his chakra out before he can call his sand. However, Gaara's sand is faster. The sand wraps around Yoroi's hands and begins to spread up his arms, preventing him from forming hand signs. In just a few minutes, Yoroi is covered in sand from the shoulders down. He can't move any of his limbs and knows he can't defeat him. I surrender. Winner, Gaara. Gaara releases the sand. The two walk back to the booth. The crowd boos at how short the match had been. The Kazekage looks at the Hokage. Well, except for young Naruto, this tournament is now dominated by Suna and Oto Genin. Didn't have a good batch this year. No, I did, it's just that your teams proved to be better. This is one of these times I'm glad we're allies. The Hokage misses the look that passes over the Kazekage's face. Yes, I'm glad we're allies too. The Kazekage shares a look with the Otokage before they focus on the arena, where Genma is announcing the next match. Kankuro vs Zaku Abumi. Will the two of you come down? The two walk down to the arena. Begin. Zaku does some hand signs. Earth release. Earth flow river. The ground under Kankuro turns to mud, throwing him off balance. Zaku wastes no time. He charges at Kankuro and does some more hand signs. Earth release. Earth fist. His arm is coated in a layer of solidified earth. He punches Kankuro, sending him flying back, sending him crashing into the wall. When the smoke clears, it reveals that Kankuro pulled off the same trick he did in the prelims. Lying in the crater is a puppet. Zaku quickly whirls towards the bandaged object, to see the real Kankuro burst out of the bandages. Kankuro quickly makes his move, lifting his hands to reveal the chakra threads. Zaku realizes what Kankuro is doing and quickly jumps out of the way to avoid the poison kunai, shot by the puppet. He then thrusts his arms toward Kankuro. Decapitating airwaves. The blast hits Kankuro and his puppet, sending them back into the crater, making it deeper. The smoke clears, to reveal the puppet is still there, with a shredded log next to it. Zaku then feels a prick and turns to see Kankuro, holding one of the poison kunai. If you want the antidote, all you have to do is surrender. Zaku chuckles. You've beaten me, Kankuro. I surrender. Winner, Kankuro. Kankuro hands Zaku the antidote and the two return to the participants' booth. As they are leaving, a swirling mass of leaves appears in the arena. When it clears, it reveals both Kakashi and Sasuke. Are we late? You're just in time, Kakashi. Sasuke Uchiha's match is next. Will Temari please come down? Well, good luck Sasuke. I'm sure you'll make Chunin. Kakashi. Apparently, the decision to have Sasuke put in the finals was made behind the Hokage's back. He is allowing Sasuke to participate, but he can't be promoted. What? I am an Uchiha. I have every right to be promoted. You lost in the prelims. By all the rules, you shouldn't even be participating in the finals. If you want to complain, take it up with the Hokage. Kakashi looks up at the cage booth and his eyes widen when he sees the Otokage. Kushina, you weren't here Kakashi. Apparently, your other student Naruto, who kicked Neji Charlier, revealed that he is the son of the Otokage and the fourth Hokage. Kakashi stares at Genma in shock. Naruto is Minato-sensei and Kushina's son. Impossible. He's the Kyuubi. He killed Minato-sensei and Kushina's son. Sasuke is surprised. She is the Dobi's mother. Yet, she's so powerful. This could be perfect. I'll make her my wife and the Dobi will be my servant. It is the proper place in society for him, after all. Kushina stares darkly at Kakashi. Kakashi, you are one of the worst offenders of all. You purposely shirked your duties to protect Naruto when he was younger. You also did everything in your power to make sure he would end up as a pathetic ninja. I have something special planned for you. Kakashi is startled when Naruto calls out to him. Hey, Kakashi. Get out of the arena so that we can watch the fights. Kakashi turns to yell at Naruto, but stops when he notices Naruto's new look. Kakashi, you do need to leave the arena. The match is about to start. He turns back to glare at Genma, before he teleports into the audience. Genma looks at both Temari, who entered during the whole thing, and Sasuke before he announces the match. The next match is Temari vs Sasuke Uchiha. Begin. Sasuke activates his Sharingan and does some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Temari dodges it. Are you just a one-trick pony? Sickle weasel technique. Sasuke avoids the attack and prepares another one. Fire release. Phoenix Sage fire technique. Temari uses her fan to blow away the attack. Is that all you got? Sasuke smirks. Not even close. The curse mark pulses and black marks begin to spread all over his body. In the audience, Enko cries out in alarm. That fool. Naruto smirks. So, he's mastered my mom's little gift. This will probably ensure he makes it to the final match. He turns to Gaara. After the fight, the winner will probably have to face him. How do you feel about kicking Uchiha? Gaara shrugs. It doesn't matter to me. The upcoming fight with you will be far more entertaining. Naruto laughs and he turns to focus on the fight. The Hokage moves to stop the fight, but Kushina stops him. Why? Let him dig his own grave. If you stop him, those two elders and Danzo will do everything to make sure Sasuke gets away with just a slap on the wrist. Sasuke charges at Temari, moving much faster than before. He starts hitting her. She can't even defend herself. He kicks her, and she flies into the crater made by Neji earlier. He charges at her and just starts pounding the crap out of her. The Cage stands up in alarm. He's going too far. Stop him. The Hokage nods to Genma and he jumps in to restrain him. Enko, Kurenai, and Asuma all join him to restrain Sasuke, until he calms down and the seal shuts off. Winner. Sasuke Uchiha. Despite the fact he was brutally beating the crap out of the Cage's daughter, the crowd bursts out in cheers and applause. The Hokage sighs. I give up on them. The Cage, Otokage, Naruto, and the other participants are disgusted at the crowd. Sasuke points at Naruto. Mark my words, Dobi. I will defeat you in this tournament and prove my superiority over you. Naruto rolls his eyes as Sasuke walks to the participants' booth. The medics come and collect the battered Temari. The Cage wants to go check on her, but gets a look of reassurance from the Otokage. He trusts her, so he remains in his seat. Genma call the next match. Dosu Kinuta vs Kinsuchi. Will the two of you come down? The two look at each other and then both walk to the arena. Good luck, Dosu. You too, Kin. Begin. Dosu does some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Sasuke is angered that someone else uses an Uchiha technique. Kin quickly counters with her own hand signs. Water release. Gunshot. The two attacks collide and create steam. Before the steam dissipates, they two begin fighting hand to hand. They fight like this for a few minutes before Kin jumps back and tries her bell genjutsu move. But Dosu slips in some earplugs, protecting him. He decides to go for a risky movie. Fire release. Phoenix Sage fire technique. While the attack is heading for Kin, he does more hand signs. Fire release. Mist blaze dance technique. He blows a gas from his mouth. It comes into contact with the previous attack, just as it reaches Kin. The gas ignites and causes a big explosion. When the smoke dies down, it reveals Kin inside a sphere of water. Water prison technique. She releases the sphere and does more hand signs. Water release. Snake's mouth. A huge column of water appears. It takes on the form of a giant snake, with its mouth open. Dosu tries to escape, but the snake swallows him. The snake collapses into a river, which sweeps Dosu into one of the craters in the wall. Genma goes in to check Dosu and finds him unconscious. Winner. Kinsuchi. Dosu wakes up and realizes what's happened. Great job, Kin. When you first came on this team, you were the weakest of us. Look at you now. You've beaten me. Now, help me back to the booth. Kin smiles and helps Dosu to stand up. She walks him back to the booth where he sits down to rest. Genma addresses the crowd. With the first round of battles complete, we will take a break. This will allow the participants to recover and to give us time to clean up this water. Use this time to go to the bathroom, or get something to eat or drink. When we start up again, we'll go right into the next round of fights. The crowd start to get up. Naruto shares a look with Gaara. Their fight was up next. The son of the Cage versus the son of the Otokage. The Shukaku Jinchuriki versus the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. This will be a fight for the ages. Chapter 10. The audience returned to their seats for the semifinals. With the water all cleaned up, the fights are ready to continue. Genma speaks up. Welcome back. We will proceed immediately with the semifinals. Due to the odd lineup, this first fight will determine the first finalist, while the remaining fights will determine the second one. Now then, the first match is between Naruto Uzumaki and Gaara. Both of you, come down. Naruto smirks as he unties the headband on his waist. No one notices that he covers the metal part with his hand. He pulls off his coat and reties the headband to his waist, again covering the metal part. Hey, Kankuro. Look after my coat for me, will you? Sure thing, Naruto. Naruto walks down to the arena, where Gaara is already waiting. Good luck, Naruto. You too, Gaara. I'm just glad mom fixed your seal, or I might be stuck fighting Shukaku. Gaara smirks. Genma calls the start of the match. Begin. The sand pours out of Gaara's gourd. Naruto does some hand signs. Wind release. Great breakthrough. He applies fire chakra to turn it into a flamethrower. Gaara's sand forms a ball around him. The flames heat some of the sand, until it turns to glass and shatters. More sand quickly refills the hole that was made in the ball as a result. Come on, Naruto. You have to get through my sand defense to beat me. More sand shoots out from the sphere, forcing Naruto to dodge. You can do better than that, Naruto. Naruto keeps on dodging the sand. He does some hand signs. Wind release, drilling air bullet. The blast blows another hole in the sand, which quickly refills. Sand is still shooting out at Naruto. He decides to use more hand signs. Water release, water gun. He fires off enough of them to cover the entire sand ball, soaking it. He then pulls off another move. Wind release, spiraling wind ball. He shot a few of them at Gaara. They made holes in his sand, but the holes were taking longer to fill up. Naruto takes advantage of this. Wind release, drilling air bullet. A bigger hole is formed in the sand sphere. Naruto can now see Gaara. Wind release, great breakthrough. The powerful gust forces Gaara through what's left of his sand sphere. He lands near the far wall. Naruto takes his advantage. By the time Gaara recovers, Naruto is standing above him, with another spiraling wind ball directly in front of Gaara's face. Surrender, Gaara, or this will go right through your head. Gaara nods his head in defeat. Very well, I surrender. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. The crowd is silent. They don't want to cheer for Naruto, due to the Kyuubi, nor Gaara, due to the stories they heard from Suna civilians. Naruto whispers to Gaara, good thing we held back. If we were to go all out, we would destroy this arena along with some of the village. Naruto and Gaara walk back to the booth. Once there, Naruto retakes his coat and puts it back on, tying the blank headband, so that it circles around the coat again. In the cage booth, the cage looks at the Otokage. It seems congratulations are in order. Your son defeated mine. I'm proud of him, but you should be proud of your son, too. He's a powerful fighter. So true. Back in the arena, Genma speaks up. Due to the lineup, the next match will determine the opponent for Kankuro. The match is between Sasuke Uchiha and Kinsuchi. Come down, you two. I forfeit. Genma looks at Kin. Are you sure? Yes. After what he did to Temari, there's no way I want to fight a psychopath like him. Very well. Kinsuchi forfeits. Winner, Sasuke Uchiha. The crowd boos at Kin for not fighting and cheers for their precious Sasuke. This next fight will determine who faces Naruto Uzumaki in the finals. The match is between Kankuro and Sasuke Uchiha. I forfeit. Same reason as Kin. Genma sighs. Very well, Kankuro forfeits. Winner, Sasuke Uchiha. The crowd has the same reaction as before. We will now move on to the final fight. Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha. Will the two of you come down? Naruto and Sasuke walk down to the arena and face off against each other. You'll pay for what you did to Temari, Sasuke. You think you can stop me, Dobi. I find it humorous that you threaten your future father-in-law. For you see, I will have your mother as my wife and she will sire me powerful children to reform the great Uchiha clan. As for you, I think I'll make you my personal slave and concubine. I will forcefully take you each night and enjoy it, just like I enjoyed Sakura. The crowd goes silent. Naruto, on the other hand, already knew about Sasuke's attempts to make Kushina his wife, as well as the fact he killed Sakura. Plus, he already suspected Sasuke was gay. But, he didn't know that Sasuke was gay for him. But he knows he can't look or say anything suspicious. You sick. You rape and kill Sakura, honestly think you can make a Kage your wife, and say that you want to actually have with me. I'm going to bring you down, Tem. The elders are shocked. We were supporting a rapist. What have we done? Danzo is pissed. I go to all the trouble of covering up his crime and he admits it gladly. My backup idea is falling apart. Mrs. Haruno is crying. It's my fault. I told Sakura to pursue Sasuke and get him to be her husband. But he turns around, rapes her, and kills her. It's my fault. Mr. Haruno is pissed. He turns to look at his wife and they both have a silent agreement. He stands up and calls out to Naruto. Boy, this will probably be the only time I ask something of you, so don't mess it up. Kick the Uchihas. In the cage booth, Kushina is surprised. Well, I never would have expected them to call for Sasuke's death. Naruto looks at them in surprise, but nods to them. I was going to kick his anyway, but I'll be extra hard on him. Mr. Haruno nods and sits back down. The other people in the crowd are conflicted. To them, Sasuke was their god who could do no wrong, yet he just admitted to raping and killing the daughter of a well-known and loved merchant. They choose to stay silent. Genma starts the match. Begin. Sasuke activates his Sharingan, calls on the power of the curse mark, and does some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Naruto decides to not hold back as much. He coats his hand in wind chakra and easily smacks the fireball aside, sending it into the wall. Is that all you got? Sasuke snarls. Fire release. Phoenix Sage fire technique. Naruto coats his other hand in wind chakra and uses both hands to smack away all of the fireballs. Sasuke is enraged. Was all my training for nothing? He smacks my attacks aside so easily. No, I am an Uchiha. I am stronger than him. I will defeat him. Sasuke jumps back to the wall and does some hand signs. Everyone notices the sound of birds chirping. The Hokage looks in horror. I can't believe Kakashi taught him that technique. The Otokage is also surprised, but is still confident in her son. Chidori. Kakashi looks on in glee. Yes, Sasuke will use my technique to destroy the demon. Finally, Minato-sensei, Rin, and Obito can truly rest in peace. Sasuke charges at Naruto. Naruto sighs and blows some wind chakra into his hand. Wind release. Spiraling wind ball. He throws it, hitting Sasuke who can't stop in time. He is sent into the wall and the Chidori fades away. He gets up and snarls. I need every ounce of power from this seal. He draws upon it all. The marks now cover 90% of his body. All that can be seen is a little bit of his face. His Sharingan seem to also be warping. This power is amazing. But, it's not enough. I need more. The marks continues to spread, until they cover 100% of his body. He is now looking very demonic, when he suddenly cries out in pain. My body. What's happening to me? Naruto walks up to him and whispers in his ear. You shouldn't have been so eager to use that curse mark. You see, it was infused with some of the Kyuubi's chakra. Tell me, do you know why I was chosen to be the host as an infant? And yes, I know Kakashi told you. Sasuke looks at him in shock, but manages to shake his head, despite the pain he's feeling. Naruto continues to whisper. Well, normally demonic chakra can't be properly used by humans, due to the conflicts that arise between human and demon chakra. Also, the chakra coils must be adapted to use the chakra. I was chosen as an infant because, my coils hadn't been fully formed yet, so they could still adapt to demon chakra. In other cases, the Uzumaki had designed a special seal that helps already formed chakra coils to adapt, by putting a special safety feature in their seals, as it was in the case of my mother, who was the previous host. In fact, that was how the Kyuubi chakra got in that seal. She still has some in her body. Anyway, getting back on track, that safety feature I mentioned isn't in your seal. Sasuke's eyes widen. That's right. Your body is being fed too much demon chakra for it to handle. The curse mark's power is eating you from the inside out. This is the price you pay for constantly craving power. The very power you crave will kill you, painfully. Enjoy dying, Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke is horrified. This can't be. I was supposed to rebuild the Uchiha clan using the Dobi's mother. I can't die, yet. I haven't killed Itachi. I need to avenge the great Uchiha. I can't die. I'm the god of Konoha. I can't die. Sasuke screams as the dark power bursts through his chest. The audience watches in horror as the dark chakra burns him alive. It takes less than a minute before Sasuke drops to the ground, dead. No one notices the dark power transfer to Naruto, due to the fact the demon chakra is drawn to its source, the Kyuubi. Naruto turns away from Sasuke. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Medics come to collect the corpse, as the Hokage, Kazekage, and Otokage talk for a few minutes before teleporting down to the arena. The remaining contestants in the booth are called down. With the fights finished, all that's left to do is reveal the people who will be promoted. When I call your name, step forward. The genin nod. Kin Tsuchi. Kin steps forward with a smile on her face. Dosu Kinyuta. It's hard to tell Dosu's expressing, due to the fact you can only see his right eye. Kankuro. Kankuro smirks. Gaara. Gaara's face is impassive. And last, but not least, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto smiles. The crowd grumbles at the fact Naruto was promoted. Thank you all for participating in these exams. For those who weren't promoted, I can only wish you better luck next time in the exams. I officially declare these exams complete. Suddenly, a genjutsu is cast on the crowd, putting them all to sleep. At the same time, an explosion can be heard over at the village walls. Kushina speaks up. I forgot to tell you one thing, old man. Before me, Orochimaru was the Otokage. He taught me everything he knew and I promised him that I would complete his dream by destroying Konoha. This village will be destroyed. Hiruzen quickly jumps away from Kushina. He looks at Naruto. Naruto, protect your Hokage. Naruto doesn't move towards Hiruzen. Instead, he moves his hands to the two headbands he's wearing, and dispels the henges on them. The Konoha headband on his head is revealed to be an Oto headband. The blank headband on his waist is revealed to be his real Konoha headband, but there is a scratch mark through the symbol of Konoha. Hiruzen's eyes widen. Naruto then walks over to stand at the side of Kushina, who wraps an arm around him. Kushina grins evilly at Hiruzen. Sorry, old man. Naruto stands at my side, where he belongs. Her eyes turn serpent yellow and she pulls off the Otokage robes, to reveal the violet battle dress she's wearing. Hiruzen looks at the Kazekage, who also stands near Kushina. You are betraying our alliance. The Kazekage snorts. Your village has been stealing all our missions. This is my revenge. Kushina laughs. Face it, old man. This is the end of Konohagakure, and you can't do anything to save it. Chapter 11. The ninja in the audience quickly break free of the genjutsu, just in time to hear Kushina's declaration, shocking all of them. Kakashi, Kurenai, Yugao, and Hana quickly jump down into the arena, while the Kazekage begins fighting with the Hokage. Kushina looks at them and smirks. Well, if it isn't the traitors to my family. They are shocked at what she just said in her eyes. Kurenai speaks for the group. What are you talking about, Kushina-senpai? We're not traitors. We're happy to see you alive. Why would we be traitors? Kushina can't believe what she is hearing. You mean, you really don't know? Have you all not been listening through these exams? Or have you all forgotten the things you did to my son, Naruto Uzumaki? Kurenai, Yugao, and Hana immediately realize what she's pissed at them about. Kakashi, on the other hand, lashes out. He is not your son. Your son died on that night. He is the Kyuubi. The monster responsible for killing Minato-sensei, as well as so many others. Kushina focuses her glare on Kakashi. And what makes you so knowledgeable in the subject? Who told you this ridiculous story of Naruto being the Kyuubi? The wise elders and the great Uchiha. That means they must be right. You would trust the words of two of the biggest holes in this village, as well as a clan of petty thieves over the word of the Hokage. Keep in mind that neither group knows anything about sealing. Of course. And don't disrespect the elite clan of Uchiha. Naruto snorts. The so-called elite clan are all dead, except for a traitor. Shut up, demon brat. It's your fault Minato-sensei, Rin, and Obito are all dead. I'll make you pay. Everyone looks at Kakashi in confusion, until Kushina realizes what's going on. He's been utterly consumed by his hate and his obsession over those three. I know just what to do with him. Kushina grins at Kakashi. I think it's time for you to have a reunion, don't you think, Kakashi? A barrier springs up, preventing anyone from interfering with whatever Kushina has planned. The Konoha ninja look to see the sound for maintaining the barrier. She does some hand signs. Summoning, impure world resurrection. 3 coffins rise from the ground. The lids spring open to reveal 3 people Kakashi never thought he would see again. Minato-sensei. Rin. Obito. Kushina laughs. If the 4th Hokage had actually sacrificed his own soul to the Shinigami, I wouldn't be able to summon him. However, he was a coward, and forced another Konoha ninja to give their life instead. However, he was still too injured to live after the fight. Minato, Rin, and Obito look around. Minato notices Kushina. Kushina, what's going on? And what happened to your eyes? Kushina laughs again. It's been a long time, my dear husband. Rin looks at Minato. Minato-sensei, what's going on? I think we were summoned from the dead, with that technique the 2nd Hokage created. However, what shocks me is that I think Kushina here did it. Oh, don't be shocked. I did summon you. Why, Kushina? What's going on? Why don't you ask Naruto? Minato notices Naruto. Naruto, you look well, son. Don't call me that. You're no father of mine. You condemned me to a life of hell. If it wasn't for my mom, I would still be in that hell. Minato looks at Kushina in confusion. You should ask Kakashi and the others. Ask on how Konoha treated Naruto, as if he was the Kyuubi incarnate. He is the Kyuubi. He must die. Minato stares at Kakashi in shock. But, Naruto was supposed to be treated like a hero. They all failed at that, miserably. They couldn't see that he was just a boy. He's been beaten, tortured, isolated, and he might have possibly been raped. He's even attempted suicide multiple times. If I hadn't intervened, Naruto might be dead. Minato looks at Naruto to see him looking at the ground. Kakashi lashes out again. It was what he deserved. He is a demon. Demons deserve to be punished. This is what you did, Minato. I warned you about what would happen if you went through with sealing the Kyuubi. But no, all you cared about was making Konoha look good. All you cared about was power. This is the price you paid, 4th Hokage. Your precious village will be destroyed, and you will help destroy it. The resurrected trio are in shock. But first, I'll have you 3 kill the one who threatened my son the most. The only remaining member of your team. The one who refused to move on with his life, after your deaths. You 3 will kill Kakashi Hatake. She flings 3 kunai, with a special talisman on each, directly into the heads of the resurrected trio. They feel the loss of control over their bodies as the full color to their bodies is restored. The barrier is dropped. You 3 heard me. Destroy Kakashi Hatake. After that, destroy Konoha. We're sorry, Kakashi. The trio charge at Kakashi and begin to fight him. The sound 4 restore the barrier around the fight, so that no one can interfere. Kushina turns her attention to the 3 women. As for you 3, I'll deal with you myself. Naruto, Gaara, you 2 have your targets. The 2 nod and jump away. Now then, it's time to face your punishment. Scene change. The 2 elders ran from the arena the moment they broke free. They don't get very far, when a familiar blonde with a fan stops them. Weren't you beaten up by the Uchiha? Asks Homura. I had a very good healer fix me up. Scene change. Jiraiya is rushing over to the village walls, toyed with the invasion, when a fist hits him in the face. He is sent crashing into a building. He gets back up to see the last person he expected to see. Tsunade. Scene change. Kakashi is having a hard time, defending himself from the 3 people that mean the most to him. The trio press up their attack, but still have their personalities, so they can talk to Kakashi. Why, Kakashi? Why did you treat my son like shit? Minato-sensei, that thing isn't your son. He's the Kyuubi. Do you honestly think that I would seal the Kyuubi in my own son, if it meant that it would gain his body? If that was the case, it would have just simply destroyed Naruto's body and retaken its own form. Kakashi doesn't get to ponder that as he dodges a strike from Obito. But the elders and the Uchiha clan told me that the Kyuubi had taken over the body and the original soul was dead. They are always right. Then why didn't the Kyuubi just burst free of its human shell? Because the seal prevented it. Was it cause the elders and the Uchiha clan said so? Of course. Obito speaks up. What happened to you, Kakashi? You weren't like this when I was alive. You never praised my power-hungry clan. Hell, I would always complain about how they were obsessed with gaining power and status. I always constantly refused to use my Sharingan. After you died, I realized how wrong you were about the clan. They are the greatest clan, with the holy Dojutsu, one which I am proud to have, the Sharingan. You forget one thing. That is my eye in your socket. While I am being forced to kill you, I don't think you should have that eye anymore. Kakashi is shocked to see Rin nod in agreement, as they continue fighting. What no one realizes, is that Kushina established a mental link with the resurrected trio, allowing her to hear their thoughts. She grins as she lessens the hold she has on Rin and Obito. They will still kill him, but they can control the method of killing him. So, if Obito wants to rip his eye out of Kakashi, he can do so. Obito grabs onto Kakashi. Rin makes her move and removes the Sharingan eye from Kakashi. Kakashi screams in pain as the blood pours out of his empty socket. Kushina decides to improve Obito's ability to fight. Put the eye back where it belongs, Rin. Rin receives the mental command and implants the eye into Obito's left eye socket. Kakashi watches in horror as Obito activate his Sharingan eyes, now that he has both again. Kushina retightens her hold on the two, so they have no chance of escaping her command to kill Kakashi. Kakashi manages to break free of Rin and jumps back a distance, a hand over his empty socket. The trio charge in again. Kakashi isn't able to hold them off for long, as he's in pain from the loss of the Sharingan eye. They begin cutting him up. Blood spurts as Kakashi falls to the ground. Please, stop. The trio pause, but a mental command from Kushina has them speak. I'm sorry Kakashi, did you say something? Rin uses a move to paralyze Kakashi. Obito uses a fire technique to set Kakashi on fire. Kakashi screams in pain. Minato silences him with a Rasengan to the head. Kakashi lays dead, killed by the very people he constantly mourned. The Sound 4 drop the barrier and the trio turn to begin their other mission, to destroy Konoha. Scene change. While the resurrected trio were fighting Kakashi, Kushina faces down Kurenai, Hana, and Yugao. You three realize that I will kill you. You might as well let it happen. We didn't know he was your son, Kushina-senpai. If we knew, we wouldn't have treated him like we did. That's no excuse. You shouldn't treat anyone like that. Let me tell you three a secret, before Naruto was the host for the Kyuubi, the beast was sealed inside me. That was the reason I was brought to Konoha in the first place. To be the second host for the Kyuubi. All three women are in shock at what she said, until Hana notices something. Wait, you said you were the second host. Who was the first? Another member of the Uzumaki clan. Her name was Mito Uzumaki. You all knew her as the wife of Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage. That's right, the Kyuubi has always been a captive of Konoha since the fight against Madara Uchiha, sealed within members of the Uzumaki clan, all connected to at least one of the Hokages. The three find it hard to digest what Kushina has said. Now that you understand, it's time for you to die. Kushina does two hand signs. Hidden shadow snake hands. She thrusts her arms forward, and snakes shoot out from them. Kurenai and Hana dodge the snakes. Yugao cuts them with her sword. Oh, so you want to use swords, huh? Very well. Kushina reaches into her mouth and pulls out the Kusanagi sword. Let's do this. She charges at Yugao. Unfortunately for Yugao, she didn't recognize the Kusanagi. The sword slices through her katana and through her neck. Yugao's lifeless body and severed head fall to the ground. Kurenai and Hana stare in horror. Kushina takes advantage of their distracted state. She shoots more snakes from her arms and they snag Hana. Hana screams as the snakes crawl all over her and bite her. Her flailing to get them off allows the venom to spread quickly. She drops to the ground, paralyzed, but still alive. Kurenai is terrified as Kushina turns to look at her. Kushina's yellow eyes glare deep into Kurenai's red ones. What's wrong, Kurenai? Afraid. Kurenai can't help but nod. Ah, poor little Kurenai. I'll have to fix that. Kushina charges at Kurenai, fast. The next thing Kurenai knows, she is screaming in pain as her left arm is severed above the elbow. What's wrong, Kurenai? Does it hurt? Kurenai is clutching the stump, where her arm was. Don't worry, I'll make it better. She charges in again and Kurenai screams out as her other arm is severed. Kushina charges at Kurenai again, severing her legs above the knees. Kurenai's torso falls to the ground, still alive. How does it feel, to have your limbs severed? You're only feeling some of the pain that Naruto has felt his entire life. But I can be merciful. I'll end your pain now. She slices her sword through Kurena's neck, decapitating her. Kushina licks the blood off her sword, letting out an erotic moan. Delicious. She turns her focus onto the paralyzed Hana, who is watching her in horror. I almost forgot about you, time to end this. She stabs the sword right through Hana's heart and leaves Hana to bleed to death. She turns her focus to the resurrected trio, who are still fighting Kakashi. A few minutes later, they kill him and the Sound 4 drop the barrier. As the trio prepare to carry out the destruction of Konoha, Kushina stops them. She tightens her hold on Rin and Obito to the point in which their personalities fade away. She leaves Minato as he is. Considering these two were dead by the time of the Kyuubi attack, I'm sparing them the memories of destroying Konoha. You, on the other hand, will be forced to remember in death as the shinobi and civilians die at your hand, 4th Hokage. But, I'll give you 3 some extra help. She does some hand signs. Summoning, impure world resurrection. 2 more coffins spring out of the ground. Their lids open to reveal Hashirama and Tobirama Senju, the 1st and 2nd Hokages. Kushina throws 2 more kunai into their heads. Their personalities fade and they move to stand next to the other 3. Now then, all 5 of you will go out and destroy Konoha. Kill any Konoha shinobi and civilian you encounter. You can spare the children, though. The 5 leave the arena to fulfill their orders. Minato has a sad look on his face. The Sound 4 go with them. Kushina turns and notices Anko is still in the audience. She clearly broke the genjutsu, but she was just sitting there. Kushina jumps up to her. Aren't you going to defend your village, Anko? Anko looks up at Kushina. It isn't much of a village. Besides, you're going to kill me, right? Hurry up and get it over with. Kushina is surprised, but can tell there is more going on. What happened? Those damn elders found notes to the curse seal that Orochimaru gave me. They've been controlling me, via the seal. They force me to do their dirty work, always threatening me with a slow and painful death. I know you also hold hatred for Naruto, and I can't find a reason for it. Care to explain? The elders and Danzo wanted to turn Naruto into their weapon, but in case that didn't work, they were going to have him procreate a child with me. They thought if they couldn't have him, they would have his child, who would be made the next host of the Kyuubi. That way, they could guarantee that they get their weapon. I couldn't help but have hatred for Naruto, even though I don't see him as the Kyuubi. No, that's wrong. I didn't hate Naruto. I hated the fact I would be used as breeding stock. Kushina has a look of anger in her face. She remembers, when Kumo tried to kidnap her, when she was younger. She knew that if they had succeeded, they would have used her as breeding stock. She can't help but feel a little sympathetic towards Anko, and decides to give her a choice. She lunges forward, biting into the curse mark on Anko's neck. Anko screams as the mark begins to warp and change. Kushina withdraws from Anko as the curse mark takes on a new form. I'm giving you a choice, Anko. That new curse mark is different from the old one. It's more powerful and better. Also, the elders can't affect this seal, as it's one I created. You can either die here, at my hand, or join Otogaker and help me destroy Konoha. What will you do? Anko rubs her neck over the new curse mark as she thinks. Her life since she returned has been nothing but scrutiny and suspicious looks. People always refer to her as the snake whore, and treat her horribly. For her, the choice was clear. I'll join you. Good. Then go forth and destroy this pathetic village, Anko. Anko leaves the arena. Kushina turns back to where the Case Cage is still fighting the 3rd Hokage. Time for me to help the Case Cage.